We provide entertainment through our gaming stations, comfort with our specially designed hospital gowns, play with our toy deliveries, and distraction through our virtual reality headsets. Starlight programs are what happiness is made of. The things that make being a kid special. The simple power of a smile. Delivered to over 800 hospitals across the country, can make a lifetime of difference for sick kids. Learn more at Starlight.org.
Hey Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew. So, here we go. First day on the job. We've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we...
KORE Springfield, Eugene. I'm Danny Havel. You can listen to me on The Drive, weekdays from 3 to 6 on The Sports Animal, Eugene.
10, 9, 7,
Dude, I am
6,
totally stoked.
5,
It's
4,
about time.
3,
My God!
2,
Okay, it's happening.
1.
Are you ready? Are you ready? I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start.
You're listening to Oregon's premier afternoon sports show. This is The Drive. And welcome, friends, to another edition of The Drive. It is Hump Day in the Valley. Our 4th worst air quality in the state of Oregon. Congratulations, Eugene. You've made the top 5. It is smoky out there. Listen, if you've got any kind of health problems that have to do with your lungs, stay inside. Hopefully it's nice and cool where you're at. It is frigid in here. We keep it like a meat locker here at Sports Animal. Welcome, friends, to The Drive. Substitute host today, Brian Beban. We call him Beebs, B squared. Hey, we'll figure out some other nickname for him. Of course, we got Baby J, Justin Bruswiner. What up? We've got a ton to go over. 3 hours. You can't stop us. We're like a locomotive train coming down the tracks at you. The great Adam Rickberg from ESPN is going to join us in hour number 2. It's going to be the second hour, Baby J, is like the Adam Hour. That's what we should call it. We got Adam Rickberg and then Adam Sussman. We're going to talk a lot of Timbers in hour number 2 as well. The Pac-12, the Mountain West reach a settlement. Some discussion tactics that we're going to have for 8 college football playoff sleeper predictions. We'll have those. A video's been released of an Oregon assistant coach who ran into allegedly some issues. Duck football Lord watch list. Who has the most pressure on them in college football this season? All in the next 3 hours. Also, results from Big Bets. Baby J's been chomping at the bit for me to get the release of the Big Bets recap from last week. Because, of course, he had one of the best records of last week. So if it was like a 1-4 week for Baby J, he would be saying, now we don't need to worry about that. We'll do it next week. Right? Is that the reason why you knew you did well?
Just doing our due diligence. No, just informing the listeners what's going on.
All right. So you can follow SportsAnimalEUG.com, all the socials, SportsAnimalEUG. We are on YouTube. We're on Twitter. We're live at Bigfoot Beverages Studios. And we also have the toll-free number at 877-844-3484. Locally in the Eugene area, it's 541-844-3484. See, we make the phone number easy for you. You just have to remember 844-3484. A lot of fours in there. There's a couple of 8s in there, and then there's 1 3. But you got to put them in the right order if you want to reach us here in the studio. We got a big announcement coming up. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, and I know some of you are, thanks for tuning in. First, B-Man. Welcome to the Sports Animal. Welcome to Bulldog Media Broadcasting. You are now, I think, my 5th full-time hire.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So are you excited?
Oh, I'm stoked. I mean, I'm so excited to be here.
I mean, I'm a radio guy. You know, I've been a radio guy for over 30 years, so this is fantastic.
Well, I'm going to tell you, this next 3 hours is going to be a different pace for you. You're going to have to keep up. I know you can. We're going to keep chugging those legs along, running like pistons up and down the hills of sand.
They're pretty short.
Well, that's all right. That means lower to the ground, less impact when you get to the ground. All right. Our first segment, we are so happy. We're going to welcome in your head football coach of the Willamette Wolverines. It's Josh Line, the athletic director and former coach. He's a coach? Former coach. Is that weird to say, Bill Wagner?
It's been a bit.
Here, why don't you move that microphone a little bit closer to you? No, you don't have to move closer to it. You can move it towards you if you want. Yeah, so we can get you on your.
Yeah, it's been a bit since we've been on the sidelines, but I'm enjoying my role as AD and watching Coach Line get the troops ready for the upcoming season.
And the reason you joined the coach, well,
Thanks for having me. I'm fired up to be here. The energy in here is really good. I hope we can duplicate this kind of energy this afternoon in our practice.
So you're going to practice? The first question I was going to ask is that because of the smoke and everything else, there's no restriction on the practice, or you go outside?
We've been given explicit instructions from our athletic director that we can work out inside.
Good.
And also do anything else that we do inside. So that's our plan tonight, barring any changes. But yeah, we're really excited about the upcoming season. We've got a lot to be excited about, and I'm really pumped to be here with you guys.
I am pumped to have you guys here. Let's just go ahead and get the reveal done. Justin, can we do a drum roll or something? Do we have a drum roll up? I'll give you a few seconds to find it. Here we go. We are at the Sports Animal officially going to be broadcasting every single home and away football game for your Willamette Wolverines. We gotta have a cheer.
Hey!
There you go.
Pump.
Big time.
Listen, man, local high school football back on the radio again on a weekly basis. We love it. And guys, we started this conversation a while ago. You and I, Bill, did once I knew I was going to be buying this radio station. And I'm a play-by-play guy, man. Although I'm not going to do, I get to do one game. I'm doing your Silverton game.
Okay.
So, Brian,
See that, by the way.
It's going to be a game. It's going to be
Pressure on me.
Pressure on me to do well the week before.
to set the
stage.
table.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you're going to do fine.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
And
And I appreciate you for filling in that night.
That's not a problem. I'm not going to do it every week.
Yes. See, I get to take my son to college, drop him off at college. So that'll be fun.
It'll be great. So Justin is going to be the color analyst and a sideline reporter to be named, to be determined. So we're going to do it right. We're going to have an hour pregame show for the statewide, and then post-game show statewide as well with all the scores. So Friday night, there's not going to be any reason you can't tune in to the Sports Animal and listen to some great football. Coach, you've got to be excited about the upcoming season. I know it's been a long summer, spring before that, winter, and so now, you're getting the pads back on, you're getting the kids back all together. And I think I've been watching all the videos and stuff you guys have been posting, so I follow you guys on all the socials as well. This looks like a really tight-knit group.
Well, that's kind of been our focus. The first thing I want to say is that we're extremely honored to be covered by you guys and be a part of this really cool project that you're starting. And, we hope to make it very exciting
I know you will.
opening year. But yeah, the off season has been great, and the primary focus for us has always been. It is. I say it's always been because for me, it always is about making us a great team, and I think that we can do really well if that's our focus. And the kids have bought into most of the things that we've done, and as we get closer to fall camp, which is just a few weeks away, we continue to make that our focus. And I think that we've got the pieces to be really good. But once again, the question is always, can we be a great team, not a bunch of individuals? And so that answer has not been given yet, and we'll continue to climb in that direction.
So you play in 6A, Special District 2. Now, Willamette officially classified as a 5A school, but playing up, you can do that if you petition the OSAA to do it. And so talk about that thought process for you, Coach, and you, Bill, you want to chime in, obviously, because this was a combined decision, I'm sure, to play up, to be playing in that 6A. Is it just based on competition? You can grab that ring?
I think one of the things that Josh and I spoke about when we made the decision was where do we fit best for our football program, and where the vision and the progress we're moving forward in. We just felt like it's 6A right now for football. That's where we fit better. we are 5A for every other sport except for football. But at football, we just felt like we want to be the best. We're going to go play the best. And if you look at our schedule, it's loaded. We got the 2 finalists in the 5A. We got the defending state champion in the 6A. And then we have perennial powerhouses in Sherwood and Jesuit on the schedule. And then with the league, with both Medford schools, Grants Pass and Sheldon, there's not a night where you get to take off. And I think that's the challenge that Coach Line has in front of him. And, we know he's going to do a great job of getting his team prepared, getting ready. He's built a culture that will sustain the type of preparation that is needed. And so, we're excited for the future of our football program.
So Coach Line is challenge accepted, right?
Yes, sir. I couldn't really say it much better than Bill just explained it. For us, the focus has always been to compete at the highest level possible. And when myself and the staff and Bill and everybody, and I want to make sure everyone understands that, you don't get to where we would like to be without a lot of support. Both from the school district and all the administrators and the leadership of the school district, but the community. And, we've gotten that. And so for us, we set our sights as high as they could possibly be. Obviously the highest level is the 6A. When we took on the job, we were a 5A school. And, we knew that our goal was to be successful. And with that success came the 6A level the following season. And so, we felt like that was the best place for us, and Bill agreed. And the cool thing, and once again, I'll just get back to it, the support that he provides is why we're at today. So, we're excited, challenge accepted, and, we want to be a premier football program, high school football program in the area.
Well, Coach, we know you're up to the challenge, and I'll direct this question to you. When I talked to you, when we had our little meeting about this possibility, one thing that stuck out to me was the fact that you were really excited to talk about the stories of this particular team and how many cool individuals there are on this group. Can you just talk about the identity of this team?
Well, I think that the identity of this team is talented players buying into the team concept, and I think that is our identity. I always want my teams to be tough and physical. And, we talk about that a lot, but, you don't get to that point where you can be willing to sacrifice for your teammates without caring for them. And, I really feel like this team has an opportunity to be one of the best teams I've ever coached. And I have been fortunate to have had coached a few that really bought into that team concept. And I think that these guys, that could definitely be our identity. It's something that we worked really hard on. Team camp was the focus at team camp. And I left Coos Bay feeling like we were in the right spot. So, really excited about, as the question, was posed, we do have a lot of individuals, but I think that the identity is the team.
We're going to learn those stories throughout the season as well. We're with Josh Line, the head coach of Willamette High School, Bill Wagner, the athletic director. We just announced our partnership with Willamette High School to broadcast their entire football schedule home and away. So you're home for the Wolverines, and it'll be all over our website, sportsanimalEUG.com. You can hear them streaming. We will have coaches shows. We will have all those stories throughout the season, and the voice of the Wolverines sitting right across from me is Brian Beeman.
Now, Bill, when you put together the schedule, you and Josh sat down and you said, we want to challenge ourselves. You didn't have to go to this level. I mean, this schedule is daunting. I mean,
I don't know if Josh is going to comment on that.
When I first saw it, Jesuit, Lake Oswego, Sherwood, Summit. I mean, going to Summit late in the season in October, challenging weather possible. I mean, every obstacle is there for this football team. Not even one team that you would classify maybe as even a layup here. I mean, this is like a huge schedule for you guys. Was there a specific reason you wanted to go this strong, or you just feel your team is that good and you want to put the challenge in front of these kids?
Well, there's a couple factors in there. When you go to statewide scheduling and you're trying to schedule games, a lot of teams did not want to play us. They felt like we were a really physical team, obviously talented, but a lot of the ADs and coaches across the state did not want to play us. And so now you got to go to the best of the best,
Right.
who are in similar boats that we were. Looking for games that nobody else wanted to play them as well. So we do have a friendship and a partnership with the Lake Oswego staff. One of our coaches is a former coach off of that staff, so we kind of had that built in. So that was one we had penciled in pretty early. The rest were kind of ones that fell in place because they were looking for games and we were looking for games. And you're right, it's a daunting task, and you know. Josh and I had lots of conversations about it. Like, are you sure this is what you want? And to be honest with you, it was kind of what we could get. And he's excited about it. I know our fans, I know our community, I know players. Everyone involved is excited about the schedule as well. Because it is. I mean, it's just like in college football. What's going to get more viewership? The Portland State game or the Ohio State game, right? Sure. They want to see the best of the best play. And you're going to get that for 9 weeks.
Yeah.
We do get week 4 bye, so we get a bye after kind of the majority of our non-league games before we kind of hit the ground running in league. The summer game comes week 8 on the road in Bend, and it's nice and cold.
I don't worry about that. B-Man's got to worry about that. I don't worry about the drive or anything. I'll be listening. That's all.
But again, at the same time, we said it at the very beginning. If you want to be the best, you got to play the best and beat the best. And if we can make it out healthy after the 9 weeks of games, we're going to be battle tested for the playoffs, and I think we're going to be prepared.
And to get Lake Oswego and Jesuit in Eugene, I mean that's awesome. Assume those are home and home agreements.
Yeah. The schedule is a 2-year agreement. Our schedule next year will be exactly the same, just flipped.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, Coach, I mean, how much debate was it? Tell us what the conversations were like. What you can tell us about these conversations with Bill.
Bill summed it up really well. I guess I would say if you want to look back to where we started from in prior to myself and the staff arriving, the program wasn't a winning program. And to have the opportunity, I guess I look at it that way, to have the opportunity in 3-year span or 2-year span to be in a position where we are now going to the statewide scheduling meeting and not being the team that people want to play. So, getting to, I see it as more of an honor to get the opportunity to play these quality football programs throughout the season and test ourselves. The thing that it does it forces you to look at your depth and to cultivate more players at different positions and kind of look at the long game a little bit, and instead of having, a roster where you're playing guys on both sides of the ball and special teams. You really have to work hard in the off season to develop the depth that you're going to need to make it through a season like the one we're going to face this one. And I think we've got that. I think we've done a really good job this offseason. Myself and the staff, especially my assistant coaches, have done a good job preparing quite a bit of depth. And I think that travels all the way down to the freshman level. I think that we have, I think for the first time, we'll have competitive teams at all 3 levels. And I think that's also indicative of the support that we've had and the turnout and the hard work that the kids have put in on the off season.
That's the voice of Josh Line, the Willamette High School head football coach. Bill Wagner in studio. We're going to do one more segment with these guys. We're going to explain what FTV means in the next segment. That's going to be very important. You're going to want to know that. And there's lots of great merch that we're going to be able to pump out there to everyone. As we return, the Sports Animal aligned with Willamette High School for football this fall. You can hear all their games right here on 102.9 and 10:50 a.m. in the Valley. Back with the Sports Animal and the Drive after a quick break. Justin, don't forget the tone.
10:50 a.m., 102.9 FM, and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Other stations can say they cover the Ducks and Beavers, but we bring the receipts. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Oh, no.
Wait, man. We're from Discount Windows, the home of no pressure.
Last guy could learn from you.
That bad, huh?
He's pushing 4 years, the same as cash, with installation. Price is so high, it'd take me at least 4 years to pay it off.
What the?
His other offer was no payments for 2 years.
Who wants that hanging over their head?
Plus, life happens.
Right?
At Discount Windows, our installation is often a fraction of their price, and we offer 18 months, same as cash, on approved credit.
Spend less, pay it off sooner, and move on with your life.
I love it.
And we have a great selection of Energy Star certified Milgard windows and Milgard doors.
I got coffee brewing.
To throw at that last guy?
Discount Windows, open 7 days a week. We're at 1635 Juniper in Junction City, right behind our old lot. We have your Milgard windows and doors on site.
Discount Windows.
We do windows,
doors,
and installation for less.
CCB 180018.
Summer, the sun, the sand. How could things be any better? Actually, you know what sounds kind of good? Chicken bones. Yeah, that would make things better. All you could eat wings for $27.95 and dollar beers from Cold Fire Cold Store? That would really make things better. Ooh, and the sauces. The sauces are to die for. In fact, now I'm kind of hungry. Oh man, now I need to go to Chicken Bones.
Make no bones about it, Chicken Bones has the best wings in Lane County. All you can eat wings, great sauces, and awesome burgers. Open daily at 11 a.m. on Pioneer Parkway in the Safeway Center. Check us out on Facebook or call 541-726-0111. That's 541-726-0111. Chicken Bones, chicken with an attitude.
Men like to get the most out of things. We expect results when we hit the gym, and we expect to finish our weekend to-do list. We also expect ourselves to never slow down, even when some things start to get a little harder. Low testosterone levels might be slowing you down. That's when Oregon Man Clinics step in. Sharpen your focus, regain energy levels, and improve your love life with treatment options tailored to you. Get the most out of being a man. Visit us online at our Springfield, Bend, and Albany locations.
Even though the weather is getting warmer, many people in our community are still vulnerable and need your help. Raven, Radical Assistance for Vulnerable Eugene Neighbors, is seeking donations to help those who need it most. Raven is asking for help with water bottles, raincoats, socks, shoes, blankets, tarps, and camping gear, or even a direct cash donation. Donations can be made at Raven distribution sites or via GoFundMe. For more information, visit our website, raveneugene.org. That's RAVEN, Eugene.org.
Don't change the channel. Your radio might explode. Okay, not really, but you miss a minute of the drive, you might miss something, well, spectacular. 2.9 FM and 1050 AM, the Sports Animal.
Coming up, hour number 2, it's the Adam Hour. Adam Rittenberg, top of the hour from ESPN. I know he's got some thoughts on the Big Ten since he's based in Chicago. 8 college football playoff sleeper predictions. B Squared, you ready for this? You got them?
I think he's the most ready.
I am.
Oh, you are the most
ready.
How do you know I'm not ready?
Because he's the one that showed me the article.
What do you mean? What is this book of information I got here?
I'm not saying you're not
I'm
prepared.
ready. It's not like it was my first rodeo. Adam Sussman as well, next out. And in hour number 3, this will be a good topic of discussion. If you want to hop on the Oregon Man Clinics hotline, please do it. Any of the topics that we talk about throughout the show, if you want to call up and talk to Josh or this guy over here named Bill or us, you can do that. 844-3484. That's locally 541-844-3484. Or on the toll-free Oregon Man Clinics hotline, 877-844-3484. We're live in Bigfoot Beverage Studios with Bill Wagner, AD from Willamette High School, head coach Josh Line from Willamette High School. We just announced our partnership. We hope it's going to go for years and years and years. And past me, here on the Sports Animal. We'll be broadcasting every single Willamette High School football game. Brian Beban, who's joining us in studio for at least Wednesdays for a little while. He is our new play-by-play guy for Willamette High School. I know he's very excited to get behind the microphone. And, of course, Baby J producing, doing double duty for a little while. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the team. But first, Coach, I want you guys to explain what FTV means, because it's important to you and your program.
Well, FTV stands for Flood the Valley, and it's something that we're really proud of. It's a mantra that we believe messages, our desire to become the best in the Willamette Valley, and to, when we were discussing it, matter of fact, it originated from a fellow named Callie Harward, who's a big supporter of mine all the years that I was at Sheldon, and then now at Willamette. He's also a huge Duck supporter, and just an unbelievable human being. And his thought, with that mantra was to bring something really positive to an area of the city that hasn't necessarily had a lot of that, especially not on the football field. And so that's really the mantra, and it's kind of caught on, and it's a reminder of us of what we're trying to accomplish every time we show up to the football field or the practice field or the weight room. We talk about it a lot in our program.
All right, Coach. I know, Brian, you want to get in here with a question for Coach Josh Line, but I want to ask, so how much are you benching right now, Coach?
Me?
Yes, you.
I think I could get 315 without an injury.
Ooh.
But if I went past that,
I love the asterisk there. Without an injury.
Well, with injury.
My wife,
so with injury, you could
if
go
my
past
wife
315.
saw me with 315 on the bar, she would stop me.
Tapping you out?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have a choice. What about Jeremiah? Because we had him on a couple of years ago when he was with TJ on a draft night show, and they were going at it, and Jeremiah was just and he looked ripped.
He would be the best player on our team right now if he had any eligibility left. I've thought about sneaking him out there for like short yardage, but
can't do that.
I can't do that. But you know what? The strongest guy in our football staff is Mark Schmidt. Like, that guy can't. I mean, if my only chance is he doesn't catch me. But if he catches me, it's over. There's nothing I could do.
So dovetailing off of that, I mean, I think it's very interesting to me that the coaches that you've been able to assemble, and I know you're very grateful. I know you are as well, Bill. Very grateful for them too, because this is a labor of love. Listen, nobody's backing up a dump truck full of money for you guys to do this. You got to have a love of the game, but it's also showing these young men, one, your discipline, your dedication, and letting them mirror you, because you are not going to be any better than what your leader is. And the leader has to be that one that's at the tip of the sword showing it. And for you, it's Bill. And for your team, it's you and your coaching staff. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think that's accurate. I mean, and I think that on the flip side of the coin, if you don't have people who are willing to get behind you, then it also doesn't work. And we're extremely fortunate to have the staff. When you have success, people come and want to be a part of it. But these guys were on board before we had success. They believed in the vision before it started to come to life. And I couldn't be happier with the staff that we had at the onset, and then those that have joined us since we started.
You've got a roster of some extremely talented players. You talked about that a little bit earlier. You've been blessed to have a fantastic quarterback that's going to run your team this year, Zeke Thomas. Talk a little about him. Committed to Boise State. He's had some great games for you. What are you looking for him to do for you this year?
Well, Zeke's frontier, I think, as a player is his leadership. Not that he hasn't provided leadership, but his level of leadership and his command of the team, we're expecting to be much greater, have a much greater impact this year. His confidence level is really high. Coming in last year, he was a new face. He's still very young.
Mm-hmm.
And so at times I think that he shied away from that. And that I don't think is going to be an issue anymore. I thought he had a great team camp and really did a good job of driving the team. So we're really excited about that aspect in addition to what he can do on the field athletically.
And he's a real dual threat guy.
100%. I mean, he's, you know, the question for us always is how much do we put him in harm's way, you know, because he's such a great runner. And, you know, having a quarterback that can run with some 6-man blocking schemes makes, you know, you see it a lot more even out of the shotgun these days with the spread formations. And we certainly do that. But, you know, he's really a well-rounded quarterback. He can sit in the pocket and throw it down there. He's got a great intermediate game. And then also can hurt you with his legs. And he can play off script and make a few plays that way.
Has he gotten a little bigger over the summer?
Yeah, I think he's put on 20 pounds. I don't know if we have a kid coming back that was a starter last year that hasn't put on 20 pounds. And I think that's hats off to John McEwen, our strength and conditioning coach. He's worked really hard with our guys, all of them, with plans on how to put weight on. I think at the high school level, I think we get a lot of mileage out of the people that we have in our program coaching our kids. John's certainly one of those guys. He takes the time to meet with the kids each individually, sets goals with them, and helps them figure out their diet, you know, what to eat, when to eat it, you know, sleeping schedules. You know, it's amazing what we can offer our players from a player standpoint. And you see the results. I mean, I'm looking at the height and weight for some of these guys on my sheet here, and you know, they're bigger than this. So, which is for Zeke is going to come in handy because there was one play last year against Sprague where he got his helmet knocked off, got his eye cut. I thought he was out for the rest of the game after that play, and went right back in. Shows a lot of toughness, a lot of grit, but with 20 more pounds, I'm not sure his helmet gets knocked off this year. You know, I think he's fallen forward a little bit more this year than he was last year.
And there's so much growth, not just physically, also mental growth at that age and at this high school level. What do you love about coaching and managing a bunch of players that are in the high school age?
Well, it's a full-time job. I'll tell you that, guys. Yeah. You know, between school and just personal life and some of these guys, a lot of these guys went through the recruiting process this year, which is for many of them, it's really exciting. But a lot of people may not understand for a kid, it's really a stressful situation, especially with social media. It really complicates things. And
well, they get hounded all the time.
They get hounded all the time, and they get caught a little bit in the trap of the perception of other people meaning something to them. And that can be a challenge to navigate through that. And once again, a lot of great coaches on our staff that can help kids move through that. We're learning too. I mean, I've never coached in an environment like it's been the last 3 or 4 years with, I mean, this is one of the most unique years for recruiting I've ever experienced as a coach. And, you know, I keep my ears open. I ask a lot of questions because there's a lot to learn. And, you know, going back to Zeke, I mean, I can't even imagine what it would be like to be a dual sport prospect. I think he's the #1 ranked baseball player in his grade. If he's not, he's up there in the top 10 or 5.
Yeah, he's on his way back from the area code, which is the best of the best.
Yeah, and he's been talking to a bunch of baseball colleges that want him, recruit him in baseball, and then obviously going and committing with Boise State. That's a lot for a sophomore, you know. And
they don't have a baseball team.
They don't. And you know, when we did talk to Boise State, you know, we did make it clear, and they were fine with it, that his baseball recruitment and his football recruitment are separate. And so he felt like that was a really great opportunity, and he wanted to make the commitment, and so he did. But to sum it up, you know, dealing with that part of it, and then we have a bunch of other guys that do a great job for us that may not be college prospects, but we really try hard to develop great relationships with all of our players, and, you know, give each one of them the time that they deserve to help them in any way they need, not just on football field. And I think that helps us be a great program that kids want to play for.
One more kid that we have to mention before we get out of here, also very highly recruited player, committed to Oregon State, tight end, linebacker, Kawhi Chamberlain.
Yeah, great kid. I have had the opportunity to coach him for 2 out of his 3 years of playing. He had a really interesting recruiting season. A lot of interest in areas that I've not dealt with much. And we had Oklahoma State on campus. We had Minnesota on campus, in addition to quite a few West Coast schools. And Kavai's worked really hard to improve in areas where he needed to get better. And I'm really excited to see him play this year. On the defensive side of the football, I think he and Trip Johansson are undisputed leaders of our defense. And if they provide the leadership and play to the level I think they're capable, I think they could both be considered the top 2 players in the state of Oregon. I think that's their capability. We'll have to wait and see if they can do that. And then, Kavai and Trip also play on the offensive side, but Kavai is a special talent. His speed and his size are hard to come by, and I think that's why he got so much attention this offseason.
That's the voice of Josh Lai, the head coach of your Willamette Wolverines, the new home of the Wolverines right here on the Sports Animal. We'll have all the football games this fall on 102.9 FM, 1050 AM in the Valley, and also online on our stream at sportsanimalEUG.com. One last question is for you, Bill. Is navigating now the morass of what, even down to the high school level, NIL, kids getting recruited, kids getting trying to get through their education. I mean, the focus at your school and your responsibilities to these young men and women for all sports is what exactly? I mean, and how you're shaping Willamette High School to be that kind of pillar and beacon in the community, to show an example to others that there's a right way to do things.
Yeah, the last couple of years, we've sent a lot of kids to the college ranks from multiple sports. 2 years ago, we sent 5 girls basketball players to either Division I, 3 to Division I, and 3 to Division II. And again, you're navigating the recruitment. The NIL is part of the conversation.
It always is.
But one of the things that I think that we have to make sure we keep clear is NIL is a college situation. I think there's a lot of people think that we are paying kids to play at Willamette, and that is not even remotely close. And so, we want to make sure that people understand that we will help you navigate the recruiting process. I think our coaches do a really good job. They educate themselves. They have a pipeline of coaches who they can connect with. Our staff, our counselors, our admin, we sit down and review our class offerings every single year to make sure we're in compliance with the NCAA and make sure that all the classes that we offer at Willamette are going to pass the clearinghouse. And so, the thing about the NCAA is it's an ever moving target. Like you've seen in the news lately,
we cover it. Absolutely.
There's rules and regulations that have changed multiple times within the last 2 weeks. And so, you just got to stay up on top of it and make sure that we are giving our student athletes the best advice and the best guidance that we can give them to make sure that when the opportunity comes, they're able to accept what offers come their way. And, I think that's the important thing for us, is to just make sure that we stay on top of it so we can make sure that we help our student athletes through the process. Because Coach Lyon's 100% right. I mean, it's an, this can get a little, heavy for some of those kids as far as where they're going to go. What's the best situation? Do I value more NIL and maybe not as good a situation, or do I want to go to a better situation and maybe it's not as good a NIL? So when you put money on the table now, it kind of makes the decision a little bit tougher.
Gosh, Coach Line, you had such an easy decision when you didn't have to worry about all that money.
It was a really easy decision.
I bet it was. All right, guys, we are so pumped about this relationship. I'm so happy you said yes, and I'm really excited about what the future holds for both of us, because I think the true partnership is when both sides and the fan base and the community can grow and be better for it. And I think this is a good first step for us. I just say, let's go.
Let's
and I
go.
want one of those shirts. I love the Ohana.
You got it. You got it.
All right. Okay, Coach.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity, and
We love the opportunity.
yeah.
Thank you so much for having us and including us in your project.
Thank you. Yeah, it is a project. Like I think I said a couple of weeks ago, this is the closest I'm ever going to come to giving birth, and I never want to do it again. Ever.
One child. I like it.
Yeah, this is it. You're looking at it right now. When we come back, we'll talk about a Oregon Duck assistant coach in a bit of a pickle and the Duck Football Award watch list as we close out hour number 1 on The Drive.
Sometimes they're right.
Rest my case.
Sometimes they're wrong.
You want
The refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew is the perfect companion to your American summer adventures. Enjoy the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Tasting great since 48. Look for Mountain Dew in stores near you at mountaindew.com. That's mountaindew.com.
It kind of sneaks up on you. You're more tired than you should be, a little less focused, a little less motivated, and you've gained a little weight. It's normal. A lot of men experience it, but that doesn't mean you have to live with it. At Hale Men's Clinic, personalized testosterone therapy can help you restore your energy, your clarity, your edge. Real solutions, real results. Hale Men's Clinic. Feel good now. Curious about your levels? Walk into Hale Men's Clinic in Eugene, Bend, or Roseburg for your free testosterone test today. More info at halemensclinic.com.
Beaver Nation, everything we do is about building something bigger for our student athletes, for our fans, for everyone who believes in Oregon State football. Championship programs aren't built alone. It takes all of us, the fans, the alumni, the community, locked in together. Pack Research Stadium this fall and be part of the next chapter of Beaver football. Season tickets, mini plans, and single game tickets are available now. Visit beavertickets.com or call 1-800-GO-BEAVS. Build with us. Go Beavs!
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people. Without destroying your credit, they can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107.
Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission. License number DC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
If you're 19 or older with certain underlying medical conditions such as asthma or diabetes, you can get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can disrupt your life for weeks. If you're 65 or older, it is also recommended you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia, no matter the season. Talk to your doctor about vaccination today and learn more at lung.org/protect yourself. A message from the American Lung Association in collaboration with Pfizer.
Nothing is too big for the sports animal to handle. That's what she said. You're home for me, Dan Patrick, 6 to 9 a.m. weekdays, and The Drive with Danny, Steve, and Justin from 3 to 6. This is the sports animal.
All right, so if you missed the first segment of the program, go back to the podcast or back to the YouTube, Twitter, and listen to our first couple of segments we had with Josh Line and Bill Wagner from Willamette High School. And if you missed it, we are now the official voice of Willamette High School football. You can hear all the games starting this fall right here on the Sports Animal. And also a full 1-hour pregame show and a full postgame show, statewide postgame show with all the scores. We're going to kind of do a shortened version of Friday Night Live. It's going to be called what? The Final Drive. That's what you named it. You named it. You gave me. I gave you ideas, and you
Justin
guys
and
I
liked it.
picked one.
Yeah.
right? You were
We
you were
all
in on this
came to the same
decision.
conclusion, I think.
I think it was the same conclusion. Yeah.
I like the name. It's an extension of this show.
So August 28th. So we're not going to get out of August before we have high school football back on the air.
Yeah.
Lake Oswego. It'll be 7 p.m. kick at Willamette High School. So again, you'll be hearing a lot about this as we go through the next few weeks and then into the fall. All right. I don't know where Baby J, you put this topic up here. I've read a little bit about it. Oregon assistant coach Rashad Samples was not caught in a flattering position. An alleged DUI, alleged reckless driving, and some stuff that was caught on body cam video. Is that what it is, Baby J?
Yeah, it sounds like this was a video that came out from a few months ago, and so it was from April, and is just now being kind of put to light. And what I was talking about with Brian off the air was that I think sometimes he said, because we'd known about this incident with the DUI and the reckless driving, but I think sometimes when you have a video, it can kind of change the way people perceive things. And think about Ray Rice, and he hasn't done the worst thing that's ever happened in the NFL. That being said, I mean, I'm not saying what he did was right, but when the video came out for Ray Rice, it completely changed things. So I just wonder how much, now that there's actually a video of this incident, how much it's going to change things.
Well, go ahead.
No, I was going to say the thing that came to light from this video, two things, is that he tried to play it off that he was Deshaun Jackson, the former Philadelphia Eagles receiver.
Oh, Tony Romo said he was going to go see his grandparents, who are deceased, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I
And the
love how they
article
looked it up afterwards.
And the article I read from the New York Post, which is where this came from, this video. Also
excellent, reputable.
Excellent, very reputable.
I wouldn't even put that in my bird cage. Okay,
in
go
the
ahead.
bird cage. Anyway,
Yeah, okay.
he said that he wanted to offer the people he hit $1,000 to forget about it. So that's not good.
Yeah, well, this will work its way through the court system, and Dan Lanning and the U of O administration, Rob Mullenstuff, is going to have to make a decision on his status. And right now, there has been no announcement that he is not currently still an Oregon assistant coach or participating in practices and such. But
so highly regarded.
Yeah, and it's just a shame. And if there's some other things that are happening that he can address in his personal life, we certainly hope the best for him. So it's just an unfortunate thing, and people will want to run and jump to conclusions on stuff, and just calm down and let it work its way through, and just hope that those things work out for him. All right, so when we come back, really quick segment, Duck Football Award Watch List. Yay, we have preseason awards that we're going to be looking at. We haven't played a game yet, not a down. In fact, they just started practice. But let's start talking about awards. Lord help me.
Got to talk about something.
We got plenty to talk about. We got Anna Rittenberg next hour, Adam Sussman next hour, Pac-12 and Mountain West finally reach a settlement. Who's getting paid? We'll talk about all that on The Drive next.
1050 AM and 1029 FM and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
When you're in Rome, you visit the Colosseum. When you're in France, you visit the Eiffel Tower. And when you're in Eugene, you visit Tracktown Pizza, Eugene's best pizza and a Eugene cultural icon for over 40 years. Great pizza, growlers to go, and Tracktown Pizza delivers to all of Eugene and Springfield. Tracktown Pizza, the best pizza in town. Call 541-284-8484 or visit tracktownpizza.com.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
Millions of Americans are glued to their TV weekly, watching a sport they love. Come and relive your childhood at A&J Sports Cards. They have a wide variety of sports cards and memorabilia. Eugene's home for collecting is A&J Sports Cards. Whether you're looking for the stars from the past or the present, you'll find them at A&J Sports Cards. They are here to meet your hobby needs. That's A&J Sports Cards, 1478 West 6th Avenue, 541-343-5561.
A college security officer called to tell me there was a drinking party on campus. The officer said there had been excessive drinking, and our son was in the hospital for alcohol poisoning. He said my husband and I should come as soon as we could. I knew my son would face distractions and temptations when he went away to school. He already had unfortunate experiences with alcohol, and he was a little too good at fitting in with the crowd. I had no idea things could get so much worse so fast. A nurse suggested we attend Al-Anon family groups. Even though our son claimed his drinking was no big deal, he said he was not an alcoholic and that he could quit whenever he wanted. I didn't want to go to an Al-Anon meeting, but I'm sure glad I went. If someone's drinking troubling you, you might be surprised at what you can learn in an Al-Anon family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or go to alanon.org.
Don't give wildfire a path to your door. Prepare your home and yard before a fire strikes. Clean your roof and gutters of leaves and debris. Limb up trees. Space those plants. Cut your lawn short, and if possible, keep it green. It's called defensible space, and it works. Go to keeporegongreen.org to learn more.
1050 AM, 1029 FM, and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Other stations can say they cover the Ducks and Beavers, but we bring the receipts. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Top of the hour, we'll have the Rabbi, Adam Ritford from ESPN joining us. Talk a lot of college football, thank goodness. Thank goodness football season. We made it through a long, hot summer, and now we're finally getting, the smoke in the valley. Hooray.
It's a rough day today.
I'm glad I've been inside for most of it. I have been inside for most of it. You got here early this morning. You were looking sharp.
Thank you.
Baby J came rolling in. He was looking refreshed.
Oh, not
He's
sharp.
happy. I didn't.
No, you say refreshed. I was not feeling super refreshed this morning. This was
I was just trying to give you a compliment.
not energetic morning.
Yeah. Okay.
I know you do that too, though. When I say something that's slightly different, you're like, whoa, like you did it to Judge John Warren the other day, where you're like, oh, you're not glad to see me.
Well, that's what he was thanking everybody else for being around. He was just like, well, what am I, chopped liver over
You
here?
call Brian sharp. I want to be called sharp too.
Okay, but you weren't. I'm just saying you're in a hoodie right now. You're in a hoodie and your Bulls cap. I have to speak the truth. Duck Football Award watch lists. Okay, let's peel this back. Oregon football is breaking for fall camp officially. And Dan Lanning is now going to do his little gaggle with media pretty regularly. Practice is going to be closed. So as usual. And this is where now and we'll have, like we had the great Scopeldamus on the other day, we'll have Zach Neal on throughout the season and others that they're I don't know how you guys feel about this. And I know we want to talk about awards, but I'd rather talk about closed practices to the media. To me, I don't care one way or the other because there's a lot of people in this business that honestly they shouldn't have a pen or a voice or a microphone or a camera. They're either fanboys or they're just taking things other people are doing and calling it their own. They're not doing the work. They're just kind of regurgitating what somebody else has been doing. It's okay to be a fan, but you don't have to be an expert or try and call yourself an expert. So and most of these guys are getting credentialed to go into practices, and I don't think it's very accurate.
Give their opinions.
And that's what it is. It's an opinion. It's not reporting. And there's a big difference between an opinion and reporting. Agree, disagree?
Oh, 100% agree. An opinion is like a sports columnist. Your John Canzano. Your Ron Bellamy from Register Guard days.
Right.
You know,
Bob Welch.
Bob Welch
was a great writer.
Great.
Still a great writer.
Great writer. Jim Murray, LA Times.
Oh, yeah. there you go.
Fantastic
Sass-
columnist, right?
Baby J has no idea who Jim Murray is.
No idea.
Do you know? Now, no, do you?
The name sounds familiar.
Because
Not Bill.
No, I know.
No.
I didn't know I knew who Bill Murray is.
This does not pick on Baby J Day, by the way,
Okay.
but it's what I was amplifying there, Justin, was the difference in our ages. You know, Brian and I are a little bit more aligned with certain personalities.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Your guy is Shams. All right.
Well,
That's your jam.
No, my guy is Woj. I'm a very
Okay,
Woj
you're-
over Shams guy.
All right. Okay. So.
So yeah, a columnist forms opinions,
Mhm.
and a writer like Mims reports facts.
Right. Without bias.
Well,
without
Mims
bias
isn't
and
a
without
fan.
opinion.
What now?
Mims isn't a fan. He's a sports thinker. He's not a
Right.
sports fan.
No, I
He made
understand
that.
that.
Very clear to us the other day.
But when
Yeah.
he covers a sport, whether it was baseball, football, whatever, very factual.
He is.
Gets his facts aligned, talks to the players, the coaches, gets his quotes, writes a story based on fact.
Objective.
A very objective, not his opinion. So if a team blows a game, he reports on how they blew it, not his thoughts on that game.
Yeah. So here's the award watch list. Dante Moore named to the Maxwell Award watch list, top player in football, which includes performance, leadership, other qualities. Jamari Johnson named to the Mackey Award preseason watch list. This is for the tight ends. Kenyon Sadiq was a Mackey Award finalist last year.
Joke that he didn't win that.
Also injured in training camp, by the way. I don't know if you
Jamari
guys saw
Johnson
it.
was?
No,
Sadiq.
Sadiq.
Oh, I didn't see that. I've been buried in my office all day.
I know you have. But
haven't
yeah,
caught up on this.
he's supposed to be back by week 1, but he
Okay,
is
well,
injured.
that's nothing serious then. Just a little ding. Defensive lineman Amari Washington, 2 award watch lists. Bronco Nagurski and the Outland Trophy preseason. Bronco Nagurski honors the best defensive player in the country. 2 other Oregon players, Brandon Finney, Coy Parrish. They're both expected to be critical pieces for Oregon this weekend, and they're also on that Bronco Nagurski best defensive player watch list. And then Outland Trophy watch list, Barry Alexander, the partner in crime for Washington, and Ipani Lalulu joins him on the list. He returns after being a semifinalist for the award last year. 7 players now on preseason award watches.
So what I find interesting is that the one postseason award that people know and people care about is the Heisman Trophy does not have a preseason watch list.
Hallelujah. Senior writer, college football for ESPN, SXM college football host. It's Adam Rittenberg. He is next. Love talking to the rabbi. We'll chop it up and talk a little college football next with the great Rabbi Adam Rittenberg on The Drive.
Don't change the channel. Your radio might explode. Okay, not real. But you miss a minute of The Drive, you might miss something, well, spectacular.
On we go.
The Drive is back on 102.9 FM and 1050 AM. The Sports Animal.
I've seen it, I've covered it. I'm Alex Rogers, your local farmer's agent in West Eugene. When you need auto, home, life, or business insurance, Farmers can help you protect everything you've worked so hard to achieve. I really enjoy what I do, and I can help you understand all your coverage options. When I'm your farmer's agent, you're not stuck at the mercy of some computer. I'm your advocate when you need help. Visit my office today at 1154 Garfield Street here in Eugene, or give me a call at 541-284-2804.
Welcome to the coffee counter. Your usual bill.
Yeah, Beth, thanks.
Decaf latte, almond milk.
Hey, did you see that line around the block?
It's Herb's Magic Shop.
What's going on? Big Warlock convention?
No, that's not a thing, Bill. Those are just regular people coming to get their capes and magic wands.
Finding all that new business is quite a trick. Maybe Herb pulled them out of a hat. You know, like magic.
No, Bill, it's not magic. It's the radio. Herb started advertising on the local stations, and alakazam, look at all the people.
Wow, that's pretty smart. You advertise on the radio, and everyone listening in the car or at work is your captive audience, right?
That's right. Herb is casting his spell on all the people listening.
It's like every little thing Herb does is magic.
I told you, Bill, it's not magic. It's the radio.
Radio. It gets results.
For all the facts and ideas about effective radio advertising, call this station. Brought to you by Eugene Area Radio Stations. Ears.
It's not magic, it's the radio.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the OSAA and the Oregon Athletic Directors Association.
Hey Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew. So, here we go. First day on the job. Got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
KORE Springfield, Eugene, 1050 AM, translated on 275CX 1029 FM. This is the Sports Animal, Eugene.
We've arrived at the Adam Hour on the drive here on the Sports Animal Eugene, soon to be broadcasting statewide. Going to add on some affiliates, I think beginning next week. It might before, it's Wednesday now. They might have one on Friday, I'm not sure, but we'll let you know. All right. Adam Rittenberg waiting on the Oregon Athletics outline. We'll get to him in just a moment. Adam Sussman a little bit later on this hour. 8 college football playoff sleeper predictions from outside the preseason coaches polls this hour as well. And the Pac-12 Mountain West reach an agreement and a settlement. But let's head on over and welcome in our good friend, the Rabbi. You can follow him at ESPN Rittenberg. Adam, welcome to the new program. 3 hours now people have to put up with us, and thank you for your contribution. How are you?
I'm doing great. Congratulations. It's good for you, bad for the audience, right?
Well, you followed right along with the joke, Adam, so thanks. We appreciate you. Try the veal and tip your waitresses. So how's the offseason been now that teams are coming back into camp? Is there a storyline that you're following in the Big Ten more than others, or are there several that are just like intriguing to you?
Yeah, I mean, you could go first your coaches. There's so many notable quarterbacks. I mean, the quarterback position has elevated substantially in the Big Ten in the last 3 or 4 years. It's certainly contributed to the league's postseason success. So there's a lot of interesting guys to sort of break down individually. But to me, it's really, the SEC, their new argument is, oh, well, we're deeper than you, so we're better than you. Which is, that's not how it works in college football. But I will say this: I am curious. I did a big show with this the other day with Doug Lehman-Reese and Bill Landis. Who what is the second tier? Like, who's really in it, and who has a chance to make the playoff from that group? Because I think most people in the coaches poll reflected this, even though I hate preseason polls. Oregon or Ohio State, Indiana are seen as likely playoff teams, but who can join them? And I think that's what's going to be really interesting this year, to see if the Big Ten can have 4 or 5, or if it's going to be, most likely just the 3 teams.
And the Big Ten is the new SEC. One thing that is interesting to me, Adam, is the idea of, and everybody else is laughing at me, by the way, for saying that, the idea of pressure, because I think that there's been some talk about, we're here in Eugene, about Oregon and the pressure that Oregon is under, of course, hasn't won a national championship. It's one thing they really haven't accomplished. So there's been kind of this talk about maybe Oregon has the most pressure on them in the Big Ten. What are your thoughts? Who has the most pressure on them this season?
Yeah, it might be Oregon, just in the sense of, I don't know if there's anything Oregon can do in the regular season that's going to, I wouldn't say matter, but really impress people. They have to get to the playoffs, and then they have to win in the playoff, and they have to be more competitive in the playoff. And so, that's a tough place to be, right? Where you're going to have a tough Big Ten slate. They have to go to Ohio State in late October, and they have Washington and then some other really good teams on their schedule. Can they navigate that while realizing they're only going to be judged on how they perform in the postseason? If you don't make the postseason, the judgment is going to be, complete failure. In that sense, Indiana doesn't have a ton of pressure. They've won a national championship. They've changed college football forever. Ohio State won one a couple of years ago. They certainly need to win a Big Ten championship at some point again, but they got the monkey off their back with Michigan. So I would say of those three teams at the top, Oregon does have the most pressure because of what's happened in the CFP the last 2 years.
So Oregon last year makes the semifinal. The year before, they only make the quarterfinal with the team that many say was better than last year's squad, but yet last year's team progressed further in the playoff. They just happened to run into an Ohio State team that was a team of destiny that year. What more does Oregon have to do? They make the semifinal. It'd be a shame to make the semifinal and have the season looked at as a disappointment.
Yeah, and that's where I think the pathway matters. So, Oregon's pathway to the semifinal, they beat James Madison, who was maybe the worst team that made the CFP so far, at least in the 12 team. Nothing against them, but Oregon was much more talented. And then they had a really nice win over Texas Tech, but Texas Tech had some deficiencies offensively at the quarterback. Just wasn't good enough. And not to take away from it, but it felt a little bit to me, guys, like Penn State's path the year before. They also made the semifinal. Then they get into a game that they could have won against Notre Dame. I think they were the better team in that game, and they lost. Now, the difference with Oregon, as we know, is they haven't really competed in either of their two playoff losses. So there's so much context that goes along with what happens in the playoffs. Who do you play in the early rounds? What seed do you have? And then ultimately, can you avoid being out of the game in the first half of the first quarter like they were the last 2 years? But I would agree. I think the team 2 years ago, certainly a healthier football team than what we saw last year in Atlanta. They didn't have the coordinators who were out the door. They didn't have, a guy off the street playing running back. That was a far from ideal situation for Oregon to be in. I almost excuse that loss a little bit more than the year before, even though it was a great Ohio State team. You still got to compete, right? You beat that team.
Right.
Beat them on your home field. And, they could have beat you, but it would have been a competitive game. So that's what, again, nationally, that's how they're going to be viewed. Like they're not. They could go out and beat Buckeyes by 2 touchdowns, and they could go out to SC and have a really impressive win on the road. And the nation will be saying, well, let's see what happens when they get to the playoffs. That's just how it is.
Follow him on the socials at ESPN Rittenberg, senior writer, college football for ESPN, a SiriusXM college host. You still do that once in a while, don't you, Adam? Or regularly?
Yeah, I'll have to be more regularly. But I was a host yesterday with Full Ride with Chris Childers, and occasionally do that for sure.
Beautiful. And he, of course, joins us. We call him the Rabbi here on The Drive, the sports animal. We're also on the coast, on the beautiful Oregon coast, which is probably the only less smoky or non-smoky area in the state of Oregon right now in Newport at KNCU. That's 92.7 FM. Adam, so it seems like Oregon, the storyline has been in the postseason, it's either dominate or be dominated. There's no middle ground. There's no close games, get down to the last play, and kick a field goal or make a defensive stand. So that progression moving up is one thing, and that's Oregon's story. But I want to talk more holistically about the Big Ten, because in the past couple of years, it seemed to be very top-heavy. There was like 2 or 3 teams that were definitely way above everyone else, cream of the crop. We might see that again when we roll it out, because Ohio State and Indiana are clear, favorites, and Oregon is in that mix as well. But it seems like the Michigans, the USCs, even Washington are starting to get some notice. I even have Iowa as one of my sleeper teams to get into the CFP for the first time since they expanded it. What are your thoughts on how the Big Ten might, from 3 through 6 or 7, be trying to catch up or almost being able to catch up to the top 2 or 3?
Yeah, no, I think there's really 4 teams that I look at. And it's funny, Iowa's not one of them. And I'm like, I know better. I should put them in that mix because they're so good. year to year, and they're able to overcome key personnel losses. And I might be regretting that, but I really look at USC, Washington, Penn State, Michigan as 4 teams that have the talent, experience level, in some cases the better coaching, like at Michigan, to get them to the playoff potentially. But they all have different other circumstances. So like USC and Michigan have brutal schedules. USC is really going to be defined by 5 games, the 3 at home against Washington, Oregon, and Ohio State, and the 2 on the road against Indiana and Penn State. You go 3-2, you take care of business. There's no Notre Dame. You're getting in the playoff. You go 2-3, you might get in the playoff. You go 1-4, 0-5, you might be looking for a new coach. Like, that's how important that 5-game stretch is for Lincoln Riley and the Trojans. Michigan also a really tough schedule, both at home and on the road, having to go to Ohio State. They do get Penn State at home, but they get Oklahoma at home. I think Indiana's on there somewhere. So like they have a real challenging slate, and they have some major quarterback questions and offense questions with Bryce Underwood. So Penn State might be that team, guys, because they have a schedule that lines up really well.
It's a cupcake
Oregon,
schedule.
no
It's a cupcake schedule, Adam.
Right.
It really is.
That's how you have to do it sometimes, or at least put yourself in that position. I mean, they have, they have Michigan on the road, USC at home, Washington on the road. Like those are 3 games. Iowa at home.
Yeah.
No, Michigan has Iowa at home. But yeah, like those are games that Penn State could absolutely win. And if they do, they're going to be talked about as a playoff team, deservedly or not, going into November. And they have a really good coach in Matt Campbell, who has a better big game track record than his predecessor, James Franklin. So you never know. And then Washington's intriguing, right?
Yeah.
And Washington, brings back Damon Williams. Jed Fish was very clear last week at media days saying that this is his team, and everything that happened in January is in the past, and they've moved on from it. And, if he can play better in big games on the road, they're going to be tough. I can see Washington winning a big game at home this year, possibly even Indiana, at the end of the season, which would obviously be huge for their playoff chances. They've just got to play better on the road, where they haven't been nearly as good under Jed Fish. So interested to see what they can do. But I think those are the 4 teams. Could 1 make it for sure? Could 2, 3? It's a little harder case, but we'll see how it evolves this season.
And it's interesting you're getting into my point right at the end there. I think it's interesting we're talking about, who would be the new teams that are getting into the college football playoff, but kind of what worries me is the fact that we might just start seeing the same teams pretty much every year getting in the playoff, or maybe a couple rotate. How realistic is it, do you think, that we get 3, 4, 5 new teams in the playoff this season, or is it just going to be 1 or 2 of these new teams?
Well, again, I think that's where, some of the other factors come in. How do you perform in Michigan beating Oklahoma, which is a playoff team in week 2, which in my mind would be an upset. Like that's a win that would really help the entire Big Ten. How do you do in some of your other non-conference games? Can Iowa, beat a bad Iowa State team? You can't lose to them like you have the last 2 years. Illinois has Duke coming in. Duke won the ACC, but they lost their quarterback to Miami. Like you got to win that game if you're Illinois. Those little things add up. You can't do anything about preseason rankings. I think preseason rankings are really bad for the sport because, whether the committee says they don't matter or not, they're human beings on the committee, and they read those polls. And it does color the game, and it does favor the SEC. So that's what you're still up against, in my view, as a league, when you're trying to say, hey, it's not just the teams at the top. There's some really good teams. Minnesota's been a very consistent 7, 8, 9 win team. They're trying to take the next step. They got Mississippi State early in the year. Like that's an important game because it all adds up for the Big Ten. So the performance out of conference is significant. If you can somehow steal a game from Notre Dame, it's going to be unlikely with Wisconsin, Michigan State, and Purdue. That would be massive for the conference to have one of your projected weaker teams take down a national championship contender, Notre Dame, maybe knock them out of the race. That would be a huge, huge plus for the conference.
This year is the first year for the new Pac-12. Oregon State here up the road from Eugene. You talk about preseason polls. They're picked last in the Mountain West, the Pac-12 preseason poll. I know.
You're forgiven.
I'm forgiven. Where's the dollar jar for me to put the dollar in? God, that's confusing the last few years, right? But yeah, Oregon State picked last in the conference. Boise State picked to win the Pac-12. Oregon opens the season with Boise State here at Autzen Stadium. Big moment for Boise State to get that win to put them back on the national scene. But the Pac-12 has some pretty good football teams in it at the top. One that people don't even realize is in the league that should be pretty good is Texas State. It's going to be interesting in the new Pac-12.
No doubt. It's a very fascinating collection of teams to me. And, Boise State is the most notable because of what they've done, on the national scene. But you still have Washington State, Oregon State. You mentioned Texas State. Jim Mora coming to Colorado State is an interesting one. He did incredible work at UConn, which I didn't understand the move really when he made it. And he showed just how good of a coach he is. So, that Colorado State program has really underachieved. Maybe they could take a step forward in this reshaped Pac-12. So, and I spoke with Kirby Moore recently, Washington State's head coach, and he's got an interesting team with a quarterback from UC Davis who they're really excited about. And with all the stuff they've had to deal with, you think about going back to Mike Leach's departure, and then everything with Rolo, and then the conference stuff. Like Washington State found a way to win 7-8 games, and so they're a team to watch out for in the conference as well.
Well, Adam, we enjoy having you on the program. Really enjoy listening and reading what you do. You do great work for ESPN, and we're happy to have you as a friend of this program. We look forward to talking to you a lot during the college football season. Try and stay cool out of the humidity there in Chicago.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys, deal with that smoky air. I'm headed up to Seattle this weekend, so I'll be right in it as well. But thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, you bet, Adam. Thank you. There he goes, the great Adam Rittenberg. Follow him at ESPN Rittenberg. That's on all the socials. All right, we come back. We'll kick around 8 college football playoff sleeper predictions. Teams that are outside the preseason coaches poll. There was like an army of reporters that helped put this story together. And so we're going to chop it up, as the kids say, on the program next, because we're all hip and cool here on The Drive.
Sometimes they're right.
Rest my case.
Sometimes they're wrong.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
But no ears were harmed in the making of their disagreements.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Jerry Shop Talk.
Sharon?
Yeah, Dad.
Is that big anniversary sale still going on at Jerry's?
Well, it sure is now through Friday.
Oh, that's good.
You'll find hundreds of items on sale at incredibly low prices.
Yeah.
And you could win one of 10 Jerry's gift cards for $650 each.
I always knew you were gifted.
Thanks, Dad. Learn more at betterheadforjerrys.com.
Oh, I sure will.
Or better yet, come on in.
Uh-huh. Hey, who's that singing? Is your mother there?
Jerry Shop Talk.
Sharon?
Yeah, Dad.
Is that big anniversary sale still going on at Jerry's?
Well, it sure is now through Friday.
Oh, that's good.
You'll find hundreds of items on sale at incredibly low prices.
Yeah.
And you could win one of 10 Jerry's gift cards for $650 each.
I always knew you were gifted.
Thanks, Dad. Learn more at betterheadforjerrys.com.
Oh, I sure will.
Or better yet, come on in.
Uh-huh. Hey, who's that singing? Is your mother there?
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
In Oregon, we're taking a stand against hate crimes.
A stand for inclusion.
For acceptance.
Civility.
Unity.
With a new law, we're taking a stand against bias.
Against bigotry.
Prejudice. Homophobia.
Other phobia.
Against violence and intimidation.
Of any kind.
So we can make a real difference.
It's a stand for our future.
So no one has to be the victim of a hate crime.
Because we're all Oregonians.
And taking a stand
is what we do. Learn more at standagainsthate.oregon.gov.
A message from the Oregon Department of Justice.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107.
Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission license number DC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
Nothing is too big for the sports animal to handle. That's what she said. You're home for me, Dan Patrick, 6 to 9 a.m. weekdays, and The Drive with Danny, Steve, and Justin from 3 to 6. This is the sports animal.
Last hour of the program, we will have the results of big bets. Who has more pressure on it in the college football season? I like this topic. This one's we're going to kick around for a bit. Should you stay a fan of a team if they leave you?
Well, I'm glad I finally picked a good topic.
Yeah.
I just say, finally, you need to be a little bit sensitive on this whole thing. You picked great topics.
Justin and I were talking this morning, and
So you're the one who picked this.
well, I didn't pick it, but I kind of ran into it. I
We
mean,
kind of came to
were-
it together.
We were talking about
Yeah.
something, and all of a sudden, I said, this would be a great topic for the show.
See?
And
Well,
he
we were
said-
discussing our
and he-
teams and
yeah.
if they left, and he was saying, well, if the Green Bay Packers up and left
To
Green
St.
Bay,
Louis.
would you still be a fan? And I said, I don't know. I honestly don't know if I would be. I think I might have to really consider that.
The Oregon Man Clinic's hotline open for you. We've got a couple of segments, or actually just one segment where it's open phones. No, actually a couple of segments. We're going to have Adam Sussman on until the last break of the hour.
Yeah, we're gonna have him on a
Last
little bit.
segment?
Yeah, last segment.
Okay, so he knows it's going to be like a 10-minute segment, right? Okay, I'm just saying. The Oregon Man Clinic's hotline for you, 541-844-3484. Toll free, 877-844-3484. You can call it right now. You want to hop on. There's been plenty to talk about. We announced our partnership with Willamette High School football. We'll be having their games on right here on the Sports Animal in Eugene. So that's 102.9, 1050 a.m. all season long. We talked about Duck Football Award watch lists. We had Adam Rittenberg on this last segment. Adam Sussman coming on last segment of this hour. And now let's fall on the 8 college football playoff sleeper predictions from outside the preseason coaches polls. This was an article that was posted through The Athletic in the New York Times. There was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gentlemen from all over, Big Ten, college sports, Cincinnati, that helped put this list together. And I read the article a couple of times, and I agree with a lot of it. There's one that just sticks out to me. It's just like, I don't know how that mess of a program.
Ooh, which one? Is it
Who do
Oklahoma
you
State?
think? Yeah, of course it's Oklahoma State. That's a dumpster fire.
They
And
have
only-
54 new players.
Okay, but so that chemistry is going to be very interesting. But the only thing that they've got going for them is that the Monster Energy Big 12 is even more of a mess.
That's what we call it, Brian.
True.
Yeah,
That's what
I
it's
mean,
called.
that's
They
what it's
want to be
called.
called the Monster
Exactly.
Energy
We
Big
have
12.
to.
We're going to call them that.
We're contractually obligated to call it the Monster Energy Big 12.
Oh, boy.
Which just tells me exactly what the state of that conference is in right now. But
awful.
That is probably one. And correct me, guys, if you're wrong. That is probably one of the conferences. It's like, just pick a team, because I don't think there's any clear favorites. I mean,
Just like last year.
BYU comes to the top
I
of my
think
mind.
BYU and Utah.
Well, Arizona State's
Texas
got to
Tech.
be in the mix, don't they? But they lost Sam Levitt. I mean, they don't know who their quarterback is. But Kenny Dillingham, if there's anybody who can whip up some magic potion in the Big
Right.
12, and I don't want to make this a discussion about the Big 12, except that out of
The Monster Energy Big 12.
Monster Energy Big 12, but the Oklahoma State being on this list of the teams that could be sleeper picks.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're going to be in a sleeper hold.
Well, it's kind of like the Indiana situation with Kirk Cincinnati, right? He comes from James Madison, brings his half his team to Bloomington. They have success. Look where they are. And now Oklahoma State's trying to replicate that with all of the players from North Texas, right? So they've got a litany of players from Denton coming up to Stillwater, and Oregon is in a tough spot, right? Week 2, they got to play this team.
Spot?
I was on this. You look at the score last year. What was it? 69-3, right? And you remember this.
We were together.
Terrified.
You were.
On this game because I said, this is nobody is expecting Oklahoma State to do anything, but it's still a power conference team with Mike Gundy as the coach.
Can I just give some context? And I have another point to make. To be fair, you were also worried about Montana State.
I was. Well, they're the national champions.
I get it. At a different level.
I said, if Oregon's going to play an FCS team, why are they playing the defending national champions? Why are they not playing Northern Arizona or Weber State or somebody like that? Just like in a couple of years, they had North Dakota State scheduled, but they're just playing teams that are really, really good at that level.
And I'm not trying to make you defend your honor. I think you're making some good points. I think the thing about the having a bunch of transfers thing is it worked for Indiana. And I think that what started to happen is that Indiana has become the exception. And now, of course, everybody's going, well, look, Indiana brought in all their guys and it worked for them. And when has there been another situation where it's worked? Not even to that level, but what can you think about? What situation where it's been even a positive?
Top of my head, no. But what's interesting about last year with me, and when you look at Oregon's, and I want to get to these sleeper picks, guys. That's what the segment's supposed to be about. But when you look at Oregon last year was really odd. And I don't know if you guys talked about it, but when I reflect on Oregon's season last year, look at how Oregon, with the way they handled some opponents, how they kind of helped usher coaches out the door. Because that game, that game of Oklahoma State, Oregon was the beginning of the end for Mike Gundy.
Yes.
The overtime loss to Oregon by Penn State, that helped the downward spiral for Penn State. James Franklin gone. These guys are all it wasn't like after the season. Like during the season, after playing Oregon, those coaches never really had a breath left in them. Right?
I have to go up their schedule, but I think there was a couple other coaches too. I know that
there was one more. I can't remember who it was.
Mike get fired, but didn't. But,
no, I think it was. No, I think it was the Purdue coach. The Purdue coach got fired.
Ryan, what was his name?
Ryan Franklin.
Ryan Frank. Yeah, you're right.
So there were 3 coaches.
Well, back to the list. You talked about Oklahoma State. They're on this list. The first team on the list, also from the Monster Energy Big 12. TCU.
I believe more in that than I do the Oklahoma State. And TCU, this is another team out of the Monster Energy Big 12 that can win the Monster Energy Big 12 because the Monster Energy Big 12 is wide open for everybody.
Yes. The word they use in this little segment for TCU says weak Big 12.
Monster Energy Big 12.
Oh, sorry. Monster Energy.
Contractually obligated, say Monster Energy.
Another team that's on this list that we should note, Cal. So I think that's one.
Tosh Lupoy's getting some love.
Getting some love. We'll see how that one goes. Your guys are going to be surprised with this one. You know the one I actually like on this list that I think could be a big turnaround?
Minnesota.
South Carolina.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they've got a quarterback who was running for their life last year. Lenore Sellers, don't get me wrong, didn't look great last year. The talent is undeniable. I mean, if you're talking about a team that I could see a scenario where they could turn around the athletes that they have at South Carolina, I could certainly see that being a team that makes a run. But it's just one of those things where you can't expect it necessarily based on the way they played last year.
So doesn't South Carolina play in the SEC?
Yes,
they do. That's what I'm saying.
So that's the only advantage they're going to have is that they play in the SEC.
Well, they can lose 4 games and they'll still put them in.
So the one that's interesting on this list to me, and you just heard it from Adam Rittenberg, he thinks PJ Fleck's going to row that boat, and possibly bring them to
double-digit wins.
Yeah, Gophers won every home game last season, but they only finished 8-5.
Played pretty well against Oregon.
And PJ Fleck had a team that went 11-2. They said in 2019, and he says he's got his best roster this year. So
that was Western Michigan, but they went to a CFP game. They went to or New Year's Six game. They played in the Cotton Bowl against Wisconsin back then, and that's what helped him get that Minnesota job.
Louisville's on this list. What do you guys think of Louisville?
I
Jeff
think
Brom's good coach.
I think the ACC is not great. traditional powers, Florida State, down. Clemson, awful this year. Even though they're preseason ranked, I don't know why. I don't think Clemson's going to be any good.
Because it's Clemson.
Well, so here's the thing, as well is I think one of the things that helps Louisville in terms of the eye test wins and losses, they don't have to play Miami or Clemson this year.
Right.
So that's going to help. They got Pitt at home,
But they
Florida
get Will,
State at
Will
home.
Stein in Kentucky.
I don't know if Will Stein is going to come blasting out of the gate at Kentucky.
I've got a great question. I don't know if we've talked about this. Who do you think has a better year, Kentucky or Cal? And
Cal.
I don't even know if that means by record, but
Cal.
who do you think you feel better about?
Cal. And
Cal?
it's just Cal because of the conference.
Yeah.
Especially because of the conference. And again, Kentucky's still got to play
And
the
I think
SEC.
Tosh
I know you
Lapoy-
love that, but
Tosh Lapoy is a much better recruiter.
it's going to be really.
He's gotten some studs to go to Cal.
Okay, but here's the other thing. It's going to be excruciating to watch because it's going to be 13, 12 games. There's not going to be a lot of offense.
They got a great quarterback though.
Well, okay, but they're gonna squeeze down defensively. I just don't think people are going to score a lot of points against Cal. I think he's going to be so wound up on that defensive
Do
side
you think
of the
it's
football.
going to be everything for him, that defense?
What now? So say that again.
Like in terms of just like his entire effort is going to be into making that defense.
Well, yeah,
as
because
good
he's
as
what he's
possible.
going to
That's
do.
What his thing is.
What he's going to do is he hired now. Who's his OC? Somebody look it up for me real quick because I forgot his last hire as OC. He's just going to turn the offense over to those guys. And he's
Jordan
just
Somerville.
Okay, so he's gonna give it to Somerville, and he's gonna say, just go with it. I don't. You just tell me what you're gonna do.
Talking about Chile.
Yeah, he's got a great quarterback.
Yeah.
So going to be a brand new offense. Justin Wilcox did what he could do. By the way, the Oregon Athletics hotline at 541-844-3484, toll free 877-844-3484.
There is one group of 6 team on this list. And we talked with Adam Rittenberg about the Pac-12. I made the mistake of calling it the Mountain West, but the Mountain West is not going to be very strong. They lost all their power teams, Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, Utah State, etc. Looks like the best team in the Mountain West could be UNLV. UNLV on this list is a team that could win the conference, win enough games, and get that group of 6 auto bid into the CFP. Dan Mullen has a new quarterback. Auburn, Oklahoma transfer Jackson Arnold. Favorable schedule, and they have a huge game in August, week 0, against Memphis at Allegiant Stadium to try to get that kick started. What do you think there?
Well, first of all, I don't know. Is UNLV's football program for sale?
How about that?
Just like
If
the
you have
basketball
money,
program?
you can buy their basketball team.
Josh Pastner said that.
That was unbelievable. Did you
but-
guys talk about that?
Oh yeah, and
Oh,
I said Josh Pastner has no heels left because he was walking it back so fast. He's literally wore his heels down when he was backtracking. But no, UNLV. So listen, the Mountain West got decimated by the Pac-12. They took the power out of it. San Diego State, Fresno State, Boise State.
They got North Dakota State. We'll see how that is.
That's
a huge opportunity for the Bison.
Jumping up, FBS, FCS. I don't know. We'll see. Well, that's definitely going to show how wide apart the two separate Division One, I guess. What do you call them? Not conferences, but divisions. I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
How different those divisions are in competitive ball. I think UNLV's got everything laid out for them to run the table really well. I'm not sure about their non-conference, how strong it's going to be.
They play Cal, which will be very interesting.
That will be interesting for both those schools. And where is that? Is that
that game is at Strawberry Canyon, and then they play at Memphis. Excuse me, Memphis at home is one of their other big ones. So,
and they play a depleted North Texas team because everybody's in Stillwater now,
which is true.
Very true. All right. Well, there's some interesting names on that list. Is there anyone that jumps out to you at the top of the list, boys? Nothing really. I mean, I was just surprised again to see Oklahoma State on that list. I would have taken them off of that list. I think that's
one team we didn't mention is Florida.
Yeah, Florida.
You know, Florida's there by osmosis because of their name, I think. But you know how.
Well, it's because of the coach. It's because John Summerall's there now, and everybody thinks he's going to just turn it around in 1 year because they get all the athletes you can out of Florida. They can pay them.
They're going to resurrect Tim Tebow.
Oh, really? They're going to dig him up and put him out there. So do you have eligibility left?
He might. You never know nowadays.
Well, it could be, that they granted more players, extra years apparently. So, yeah, we'll watch that.
Yeah.
This will be one. You know what? Let's file this one somewhere, and like midway through the season.
Yeah, we can go back.
Let's go back to this. No, I'm serious. Let's go back to this list and see how these teams are doing at the midway point of the season. Fair? Good. Let's do that. All right. Next segment, we're gonna help Beebs out here. Pac-12 Mountain West. We're going to be able to say it in the same sentence. They reach a settlement. Hallelujah. But they're not trading any more teams when we come back here on The Drive.
1050 AM and 1029 FM and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
It kind of sneaks up on you. You're more tired than you should be, a little less focused, a little less motivated. Maybe you've gained a little weight. It's normal. A lot of men experience it, but that doesn't mean you have to live with it. At Hale Men's Clinic, personalized testosterone therapy can help you restore your energy, your clarity, your edge. Real solutions, real results. Hale Men's Clinic. Feel good now. Curious about your levels? Walk into Hale Men's Clinic in Eugene, Bend, or Roseburg for your free testosterone test today. More info at halemensclinic.com.
Where do people in Eugene, Springfield go for their boating needs? Maxim Marine. Maxim Marine sells the industry. Accessories for you. If you're in the market for a new motor, Maxim Marine carries the finest outboards, including Suzuki, Yamaha, Mercury, and Tohatsu. Need repairs? Maxim Marine is your factory authorized service center located right here in Eugene on Highway 99. Maxim Marine for all your boating needs.
All bets are on at the Three Rivers Casino Resort Sportsbook in Florence. Bet 24/7 at our kiosks or download the brand new Sportsbook app today and get $10 in free bets. Place wagers right from your mobile device while you relax in your room, hit the casino floor, or grab a bite. Then catch the action on Oregon's largest sports betting screen. Visit threeriverscasino.com/sportsbook to learn more. The Sportsbook at Three Rivers Casino Resort. Winning starts here.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, I wanted to get back in the game. So I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Oregon at highschoolofficials.com.
I'm a wife and the mother of 2 kids, and I've got a good job.
Bye, Mom. See you, Mom.
A pretty important job. Because of my family and my job, I really care about this neighborhood. It's a good neighborhood. Yes, there's some crime. And when I drive to work, like now, I realize that some people here don't trust the police. So the police should be reaching out to this community. Put on my uniform. I can tell you, as a police officer, this should be happening everywhere. This is how we can all be safer. Get involved. Start the conversation.
Start the conversation and help stop crime. To learn the 5 things you can do, go to ncpc.org/prevent violent crime. A message from the National Crime Prevention Council and the Bureau of Justice Assistance.
1050 AM, 1029 FM, and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Other stations can say they cover the Ducks and Beavers, but we bring the receipts. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Adam Sussman coming up last segment of this hour. We start out the top of our third hour with who's got the most pressure on them in college football this season. And should you stay a fan of a team if they leave, if they break up with you, if they leave you? Meaning, like the Blazers leave Portland. Are you still going to be a fan of the Blazers if they leave? If they're the Tampa Blazers or the
San Diego Blazers
or the Las Vegas Blazers or the Seattle Supersonics?
That's not happening. That we'll talk about that later. That they're not going to Seattle. I'm telling you, the expansion fees are too big that the NBA wants.
Yeah, we've already talked about that as well, but we're going to bring it back up because I just like to poke the bear. All right, so Pac-12. Pokey. I'm not touching you. 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 You can call the Oregon Bank Analytics hotline at 541-844-3484, toll free 877-844-3484. We're on the YouTube as well. You can go on the chat there. We'll post some of those up here, or we'll just respond to them if you want. But if you want to give us a call, please do. We'd love to engage with you, the listening audience. If you miss any of the program, go back to the podcast. It'll be up soon. Josh Line, Bill Wagner started out our show from Willamette High School, our new partnership that we announced with Willamette High School for the football season. We will have all the games right here on the Sports Animal. Adam Rittenberg started out this hour with us, ESPN, and we'll end the hour with another Adam. So bookend Adams. Adam Sussman coming up in just a few minutes. Pac-12 Mountain West reached their settlement. Now, you know that they sued each other, poaching, exit fees. There was a lot of money on the table. They just announced in a joint statement late yesterday that they have settled their lawsuit. So a bunch of attorneys got paid, and apparently somebody's paying somebody else, which means probably the Pac-12 is paying the Mountain West for something, but they're not disclosing what the financial agreement was. Somebody's going to find out. Somebody's going to put a FOIA out there. And that means Freedom of Information Act, by the way, if you want to know what that means. What? Why are you staring at me like that?
I'm not.
That's what you just laughed at me. That's what a FOIA is. I just shortened it up.
That was fantastic.
Okay.
Okay, good.
So, Justin, do you want to weigh in on the Pac-12 and the Mountain West settling their spat?
I'm glad it's over.
Me too.
Glad that they were able to help out the Pac-12 days in Mountain West, and I'm sure that they feel very good about that and not like they regret that at all. That was sarcastic.
You know, this to me is such a nothing burger. Again, I used that phrase earlier today because unless you're gonna give us the details of what happened,
right?
I think that's what the fans would want to know.
Absolutely.
It's basically, where's the blame? Is there shared blame? Is someone accepting responsibility for this? Did the Pac-12 come into the hen house and steal teams that they shouldn't have been recruiting them? They could have literally combined those conferences, had two different divisions, have another super conference, right, and been a lot stronger, don't you think?
Yeah, I definitely think that the combination of those conferences is stronger than what they each individually have.
I will say for the Pac-12, the addition of Gonzaga for basketball and all other sports, not football, is massive, because you look at what the Pac-12 will be in basketball this year. It will be possibly better than the Big East, in my opinion, probably the fifth best league.
Here's the thing, though. If your selling point as a conference is our basketball conference is going to be really good, does that matter? I'm not saying it doesn't matter at all.
Does it matter for the Big East? The Big East does not have football, right?
How's the Big East doing?
They won a national championship, Connecticut, 2 years ago.
I'm not saying that they haven't had success in basketball.
I'm just saying they're a basketball conference.
Sure.
Right? And I would say that the Pac-12 will position itself as a basketball conference because the league is so strong in that sport.
I don't necessarily disagree with that, but the tough thing with that, then, if that's the posture you're going to take, and I'm not disagreeing with it, is where's the revenue going to come from? Because football's king. And there's no way any other sports combined are going to knock off football in terms of the revenue generation.
We'll see what this new expanded NCAA tournament does, what CBS and TBS pay for it.
They're never going to pay the football money, though. That's Brian. Again,
that's true. You're right.
But listen, if that's your best option, because I think that door is now closed. Listen, I also believe that the Pac-12 and the Mountain West got too haughty with hanging up on names because neither one of them wanted to give up their name. So I think that in totality is what broke this relationship and fractured it up the most, is that we want it to be the Pac-12 because we have more of a legacy. Mountain West was like, well, we built our conference from the ground up and we have our own legacy. They could have probably figured it out somehow. I mean, they were going to call it the Pac-12 MVC or whatever it is, or MWC. They could have had different divisions that were named that. They could have figured something out, but they just got so ingrained and I wasn't in the room, but I'm just supposing, this is the only thing that I could think of, is that got so ingrained in what we're going to call it that they both walked away from the table. And then the Pac-12, again, Teresa Gould, there was some orchestration going on, because you don't just start talking to these other schools about jumping over just on a, how would you want to say it? Just on a lark. There was calculation there. So,
well, you know what they should have done?
I don't know.
They should have called on an energy drink company and gotten some ideas about some branding names.
The Monster Energy Western
Pack Whack.
The Whack Pack. We could call it the no. That's
No, you can't do
that's
that.
Western Athletic
Yes,
Conference,
which still exists, by the way.
Yes, they certainly do. All right,
Yes.
we're gonna shift focus to the beautiful game, and our good friend from the Portland Timbers podcast, the Timber Review. He also is a broadcaster, journalist, and joins us next. It's the great Adam Sussman as we continue here on The Drive.
Don't change the channel. Your radio might explode. Okay, not really. But you miss a minute of The Drive, you might miss something, well, spectacular.
On we go.
The Drive is back on 102.9 FM and 1050 AM. The Sports Animal.
You've got 60 minutes to dominate your lunch break. No timeouts. Just one shot to eat like a legend. Introducing the $11 Killer Box Lunch only at Killer Burger in Eugene. That's a pint burger, small fries, and a fountain drink, all for just $11. Killer Burger, brought to you by another Eugene legend, LaMichael James. The $11 Killer Box Lunch, only at Killer Burger on Coburg Road in Eugene.
Hi, Brad and my son AJ here with a word of encouragement from Cottage Grove Chevy. In these uncertain economic times, know that Cottage Grove Chevy is here for you today
And tomorrow. Your need for a vehicle isn't going away. We aren't either.
We're proud to serve our customers for over 35 years, and we truly consider it a privilege.
Your support is greatly appreciated.
Cottage Grove Chevy is proud to be part of our community, and we're here for you. Thank you.
If we continue to consume our natural resources at the rate we do now, by 2050, it could take 3 Earths to meet our needs. The Earth can't speak up when it needs help, but we can. Be the voice for those who have no voice. Visit worldwildlife.org.
Snakes, zombies, sharks, heights, speaking in public. The list of fears is endless. But while you're clutching your blanket in the dark, wondering if that sound in the hall was actually a footstep, the real danger is in your hand, when you're behind the wheel. And while you might think a great white shark is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I noticed that my central vision started to blur.
Figures that are usually straight started to distort to become wavy.
What are these little dark spots with blurring that I'm seeing?
There's a blind spot like a blob over my vision now.
Is my vision lost forever? Why did I wait so long to see a retina specialist?
Retinal disease can steal your eyesight, but it doesn't have to. Patients who seek care from a retina specialist in a timely manner have the best chance of preventing vision loss due to age-related macular degeneration or diabetic retinopathy. AMD symptoms to look out for are distortion or warping of straight lines, as well as blurred or loss of central vision. Patients with diabetic retinopathy should seek treatment if they notice the appearance of spots or floaters or blurred and distorted vision. Don't delay seeing a retina specialist. It's worth the visit to save your vision so you don't miss out on life's precious moments, like seeing your grandchild grow up, enjoying a sunset with that special someone, or reading a good book. Visit seeforalifetime.org.
So, who's going to do what? Flashlights?
Nowhere to be found.
Emergency supply kits?
Not packed.
Great. It sounds like we don't have a plan.
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Visit ready.gov/kids and make a plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Sometimes they're right.
Rest my case.
Sometimes they're wrong.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
But no ears were harmed in the making of their disagreements.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
It's got a Bill Withers feel to it, you know?
It could be sampled. It's from the game, but it could be sampled by
Okay.
a Bill Withers from a Bill Withers song, I should say.
Hey,
So
just
I'll
got
look it
that-
up.
just got
I'll look
that
up the
vibe
credits.
to it. All right, welcome back to the drive here on the Sports Animal. Just finishing up hour number 2, and it's the Adam Hour. We started out with Adam Rittenberg from ESPN, and we're going to finish the hour with our good friend Adam Sussman from the Timber Review. He is a Timbers FC broadcaster, journalist. Adam_Sussman, SUSMAN. Adam, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. I love you guys' logo behind. Let me get one of those neon signs. I got all this decor behind me for your video listeners, so I want one of those.
Okay, well, we could, actually, we'll hook you up with a polo. Yeah, just send me your size.
Ooh. Oh,
Okay.
I would love that. It would make
All right.
my 105 on the golf course look a little bit better.
Oh, very nice. No, what you do, in fact, I just finalized our deal with a guy who's going to be doing our stuff for us, and it's all Nike gear. So we're in good shape and in the perfect spot for it here in the state of Oregon. So last time we talked, the Timbers are still into tailspin. Phil Neville, we knew the divorce was going to happen. It did. Coach Cassidy in the interim did a great job. So let's talk about that first, and then let's talk about the new manager for the Timbers. And are they righting the ship now, Adam?
I would say righting the ship is putting it lightly. Since the last time we've talked, almost everything has gone well for the Portland Timbers in the 4 games in the MLS interim. It's Leagues Cup right now, which we can get onto in a little bit. Win, draw, win, win. And the Timbers swept their arch rival, the Seattle Sounders, for the first time since 2022. And Jack Cassidy became just the second Timbers coach ever to sweep Seattle. It was such a big deal, guys, because the first game back from the World Cup break was a 5-1 win at Seattle. And the Timbers were not a good road team, but they go up to Seattle and have their biggest win of all time, their first game after the departure from Phil Neville and their first game with an interim coach. He then goes on to beat Seattle again and win against RSL, who was a playoff team. So in a 4-game stretch, the Timbers went from 13th in a 15-team conference up to 8th and in the postseason picture. So it's about as good of a sort of bridge period as you can have from permanent coach to permanent coach.
And it's not like this team we've talked about doesn't have talent, but just like how surprised were you with what just happened here?
I'm not that surprised because, as we said, there is a lot of talent on this team. So Cassidy came in, and what he says over and over again is he emphasizes the world-class basics, and he calls himself boring, but he does the simple things well right every single day. And I think we've seen a couple of tactical tweaks. I won't dig into it too much, but Christopher Velda, one of the Timbers' star players, was playing on the right wing. Cassidy has moved him over to the left, has made a huge difference. He's gotten Cole Bassett into a more attacking position, and that's been a big difference as well. And overall, this Timbers as a team are starting to show that they do have the talent. And what has been welcome to see in the last 3 games is that they've given up the first goal in all 3 games. And earlier this season, through the first 14 games, that was a death sentence for this team. But in the last 2, they've won the game coming from behind, and a few games ago, they got a draw. So there's certainly fight here under a new coach.
Adam Sussman joining us from the Timber Review here on the drive as we talk Portland Timbers as they've made their managerial change. And before we close the book on Phil Neville, just kind of encapsulate, because you were right there on the front lines, why did this experiment not work?
Yeah, I think it had run its course, and I told this to you guys last time as well, but it never felt like there was an identity for this team. When you're going up against a Phil Neville team, I think it meant something different every week. And this year, I think the straw that broke the camel's back was they couldn't win on the road, and they were giving up a lot of early goals. At the time of his departure, which was 14 games in, we've now played 18. They had conceded the most goals in the first 15 minutes of games than anybody else. This isn't football where if you go down 7-0 in the opening drive, there's a lot of game left. When you go down a goal or 2, it is not a good omen for the rest of the game, and that cost the Timbers over and over again. He was liked by the fan base at the start. They had a good connection overall, and he genuinely did like the city of Portland. But there was sort of some exits of players that maybe fans didn't want to see as well. The best offensive season of all time was by a guy called Evander in 2024. If you just look him up on social media, he scores beautiful goal after beautiful goal. That was an ugly divorce there, which was not all Phil Neville's fault, but the fan base does sort of have the head coach as a shield that they can pile on. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. But now Martí Cifuentes, which is a very different type of hire, is going to come in and try to right the ship.
So this is something you brought on your podcast, the Timber Review, which I do really enjoy listening to, by the way. 10 and I think this number is still accurate, 10 set-piece goals for the Timbers that leads the MLS. Got to be a little bit of randomness in there for sure, but is that a weapon for this team, or is it like I said, just kind of one of those random stats?
It's definitely a weapon. If you watch any level of soccer recently from the Premier League with Arsenal, the teams that are best at set pieces are usually the teams that are towards the top of the table. It has become such an increased part of the global game in the last 5 to 10 years. And the Timbers, I'm more impressed with the Timbers in terms of the defensive set pieces, because that's something that they have not gotten right in the last 2 to 3 years. But they have Liam Ridgewell, who was actually the captain of the team that won MLS Cup in 2015, in charge of set pieces. So it's good to see he's made such a big contribution to the coaching staff behind the scenes. And look, there is literally coaching staffs now that have a set piece individual coach. So I think Liam Ridgewell has made himself a few dollars in that position. And it's cool to see that a lot of these bigger bodies can get involved in the attack coming up from the back line.
So you mentioned Leagues Cup. Timbers have their game tomorrow at home. I believe it's against Puebla.
Yep.
MLS went 3-3 yesterday against Liga MX. Was that good? Where do you see MLS on par currently with Liga MX?
Yeah, it's a bigger picture question. This tournament doesn't really tell the answer because Liga MX is just starting their season and the MLS is sort of in like the heart of it currently. In terms of the tournament itself, it is, I think the incoming coach for the Timbers, Cifuentes, and the fan base would have a different answer to this. I don't know if the Timbers want this tournament right now because they are in red hot form in league play. And then there's like about a 10-day hiatus here until they play their next league game in Chicago. But if you are a Portland Timbers fan and you're watching the rest of this Leagues Cup tournament, you want the Liga MX teams to win, at least in the group stage, because there's 18 MLS teams in it. There's 18 Liga MX teams in it. The top 4 from each league qualify. So it is a very exclusive company to go on to the knockout round from this tournament. The Timbers actually were 5th of 18 last year, so they missed out only on goal differential. And if you do advance in this tournament, you set yourself up for a really, really busy month of August, which if you have a deep squad can be welcomed, but with a new head coach, that could be a little bit of overkill right off the bat.
All right, Adam, last question. We only got about 30 seconds. So where's the ceiling for this Timbers team now?
I think the ceiling is trying to get a top 4 seed in a home playoff series. That's something that we've been missing from Providence Park for a long time, and being a wild card team the last 2 years, it would be certainly welcomed.
All right, Adam, we appreciate your insight. Enjoy the stuff that you do on the Timbers podcast, and you're a great voice to add to us as we talk about the Timbers down here. We'll be doing a lot more of it, so thanks.
Yeah, anytime, guys. Thanks for having me.
There he goes, the great Adam Sussman. Let's go. That's right. Mac to Mac says, let's go. Hour number 3 coming up. Who has the most pressure on them in college football this season? Who? And should you stay a fan of a team if they divorce you? We'll talk about that in the last hour here. Stay tuned. The drive continues. Sports Animal.
Nothing is too big for the sports animal to handle. That's what she said. You're home for me, Dan Patrick, 6 to 9 a.m. weekdays, and The Drive with Danny, Steve, and Justin from 3 to 6. This is the sports animal.
Men like to get the most out of things. We expect results when we hit the gym, and we expect to finish our weekend to-do list. We also expect ourselves to never slow down, even when some things start to get a little harder. Low testosterone levels might be slowing you down. That's when Oregon Man Clinic step in. Sharpen your focus, regain energy levels, and improve your love life with treatment options tailored to you. Get the most out of being a man. Visit us online at our Springfield, Bend, and Albany locations.
This Saturday, take the drive to the mountains for the Oak Ridge Cake and Cast Festival. Hours are 3 to 10 p.m. and entry is free. Great local beer, wines, food, and vendors. Live music from Boxcar Figaro, the Elena Leona Project, and Outlaw Shine with line dancing starting at 6:30 p.m. This event supports the Oak Ridge Food Box, just 35 miles east to 48318 East 1st Street between Cedar and Alder for the Oak Ridge Cake and Cast Festival. It's free. You're going to love it. Sponsored by the Upper Willamette Community Development and Ears.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107.
Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission, license number DC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
Hey Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew. So here we go. First day on the job. Got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogthink.org.
KORE, Springfield, Eugene. I'm Steve Mims. You can listen to me on The Drive weekdays from 3 to 6 on the Sports Animal Eugene.
No Goose today on the program. He is out playing. I don't even know if he's out playing golf. It's they do this wine thing, women and wine, right? Is that what they say?
Yeah.
At Oakway?
Yes.
It's really smoky out there, though. I don't know if he's out there playing golf. It's going to smell like a cigarette when he comes back in.
Like a campfire.
Okay, that's probably better.
That's better.
To
Yeah,
me, I
better.
know it's going to smell like a cigarette. He doesn't smoke, though. This hour, last hour of the program, thanks for tuning in. The Oregon Man Clinics hotline is open for you. Throw that number up on the screen there, Baby J. I could do it, but I don't know where. I don't want to go to the other thing. 844.
Have no fear.
844-3484. That's the Oregon Man Clinics hotline, 541-844-3484. Toll free, 877-844-3484. Definitely WD-40 on my chair. And you can also get us online, sportsanimalEUG.com. Website is much improved as we keep improving it. So we're going to keep adding layers to it. So now you can access all the socials, all the podcasts for every single program we have on the Sports Animal. And we're going to be adding on some new affiliates down south of us and to the east and west of us. So wherever you're traveling throughout the state, you'll be able to pick us up on terrestrial radio as well as online at sportsanimalEUG.com. We're always on the coast on Fox Sports Newport. Our relationship with them continues, KNCU 92.7 FM. And we are live from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. I'm Danny. There's Brian Beban, and Justin Grossweiner is producing engineering and also pulling the double duty as co-host as well. All right, so topics this hour, boys, and a good rundown. It's been a good show already. We had Josh Line and Bill Wagner in the first hour. We had Adam Rittenberg and Adam Sussman in the second hour. No guests this hour, so we have a lot of open phone opportunities for you, 541-844-3484. Any of the things that we talked about, you can hop on and talk about those, or 877-844-3484. If you want to take it another direction, please do. You know, you want to ask Brian how his golf swing is. We can talk about that.
Slow.
Slow? That's good. Actually, slow is
Yes,
good.
slow is good.
Slow is good. So who has the most pressure on them in college football this season? Now, when this topic was put down on the breakdown, we do a little rundown. Well, Justin does, or I guess you helped out today with it, Brian.
Yes.
I didn't have any say in this whatsoever, but I don't need any say in this whatsoever. That was not a comment like I need a say in it. I've already told
I
you,
didn't
you
say
run the
anything.
program. I know, but I know it was the first thing that happened in your mind. Well, Danny, you tell me you don't want to. I said, no.
You got to accept whatever I give you then.
No, that's right. And do I complain?
Sometimes.
Have I? Yeah, well, that's my right. Okay.
It is.
So
it is.
when I read this topic, I could have gone a lot of different directions because it was like it could have been which team or which player or which coach has the most.
Right.
So I kind of compiled all three things because I've got some of the best transfers of the. I think those players inherently have pressure on them because you're going to a brand new school trying to either replicate or create success. Coaches that are maybe on the hot seat, like a Dave Aranda from Baylor,
Absolutely.
or Mike Norvell from Florida State,
Absolutely.
or Scott Satterfield from Cincinnati, Dabo Sweeney from Clemson. Those are all guys that have a lot of pressure on them this year to be successful.
Trivia question here.
Yeah. Fire.
Justin, this is it's more of a fact, but trivia question for you.
Okay.
Justin Grossweiner's very first interview at KORE,
Yeah.
first interview, Mike Norvell from Florida State.
Really?
Our very first episode on Saturday of game day, you interviewed
And you had Mike
Norvell on.
And how was that?
It was interesting. It was Mark Norvell.
And but Florida State was bad. They were going through a rough time, and he was talking how much better his program was going to be.
And has it been? No.
He's still around though.
That's why he's on the hot seat on that article.
So where did you guys want to take this hot seat
Well,
conversation? Is it a team?
Where this came from was The Athletic. Stuart Mandel has a mailbag that he puts out every week for college football.
All right.
And there was a question, who has more pressure to win the national championship,
Oh.
Oregon or Texas?
And so I thought it was kind of ridiculous, to be honest with you. If you think Oregon has, because that's basically saying Oregon has the most, I think, because Texas is a team that I think a lot of people think has a lot of pressure on them. But to me, sort of where I was going in with my head is, okay, so if you're saying Oregon has the most pressure on them in all of college football, then you're saying they're the best team.
Right.
You're saying that is the team that you think should win because they're the best, and that's why they have the most pressure. I think of a lot of other teams that I think have a lot of pressure on them too. I think Notre Dame has a lot of pressure on them to make the playoff after last year. I think that Alabama has a lot of pressure to do better than they've done because Kalen DeBoer hasn't lived up to the standard of a Nick Saban. I think that
Miami too.
Clemson, like you mentioned, Miami. I mean, I don't know. Miami's done pretty well.
What
though.
I was going to say is Miami people think, Miami kind of I don't want to say they came out of nowhere, but how far they reached in the playoff was kind of surprising. So Mario Cristobal has to prove that wasn't a fluke.
Okay. No, that's
so
totally
to me,
fair.
that's a little bit of pressure.
Another team I think has a lot of pressure on them as well. Texas Tech from the Monster Energy Big 12, who certainly has been in the headlines this offseason. I think there's a little pressure on them with the amount of money that they've committed to their team. So
and with losing Sorsby.
Absolutely.
To see what happens there.
Right.
And their schedule, we talked about Indiana's weak schedule, Penn State's weak schedule. Theirs is Charmin soft.
So I think that while Oregon does have a lot of pressure, I think it's disingenuous to sit there and say, well, they have the most pressure on them in all of college football, unless you think that they're the best team and that you think if they don't win, that it's a shock because they're that good.
Well, you guys are talking about schedules, and this is The Drive. Thanks for tuning in to the Sports Animal in Eugene and on the coast at KNCU, Fox Sports Newport. Let's talk about schedules a little bit because according to several of the pundits, Michigan has by far the toughest schedule. The Wolverines are one of 5 teams that will get the top 2 teams. Now, this is based on preseason polls as well, and you know how much I love preseason polls.
And Adam Rittenberg, apparently.
And Adam Rittenberg.
And
does
Yogi
like
Roth.
it. See? So we have a club, actually, and I think we need to get jackets.
You guys need to have a meeting.
So they've got Oklahoma on the schedule. They've got, of course, Iowa in their first Big Ten game. They got Penn State. They got Indiana in back-to-back games. They, of course, play at Oregon. They also finished with Ohio State, their natural rival game. Texas has the number 2 toughest schedule out of the SEC. They're tied with Arkansas. Going into the preseason, they have 7 ranked opponents on their schedule. And of course, a lot of them are from the SEC.
That will finish 6-6.
But they're also aren't they playing Ohio State again this year?
Second game of the season.
Right. So
at home.
because they were up at the shoe last year. You have a cough button over there, by the way.
Oh, okay.
It's right up here. It's the little little
Oh, the
button
one
above
that-
it. No,
that
that
little-
one right
that
there.
one.
That one
Okay,
right there.
good.
Yeah,
See,
okay.
there we
See,
go.
I'm just teaching you stuff.
It's good.
Oklahoma's got a 6th toughest schedule. USC has the 7th toughest schedule. So I think, and LSU has the 10th. I think if you combine, I think if you want to talk about a team that has a lot of pressure on them, I would go right to Southern California. I would go to LA and say, Lincoln Riley, the expectations he had coming in, and the false starts, and all of the recruiting wars, and all of the Twitter stuff that goes on, all the poking of the bear. We want to talk about poking bears. And now you combine it with the schedule that they have and how Oregon has basically been a dominant force in the Big Ten since they joined, the same time USC did. There is no excuse why USC can't be labeled as one of those teams that has a ton of pressure on them.
They have massive pressure, but they also have Jaden Mayava, which is huge.
One player,
but how often in this era of college football do you see a starting quarterback of his quality be your starting quarterback for 3 years? So he's got a lot of experience, and that's going to help the Trojans big time.
I'm with you. I think that one team that we need to talk about here as well, that it's a different type of pressure than, say, Oregon, but I think LSU's under a ton of pressure as well because of what Lane Kiffin gave up to get to LSU. What he left at Ole Miss, leaving when they got to the college football semifinal. They made a run with his team, and he decided that was when he was going to blow it all up and go to LSU. So obviously LSU, a lot of money into that team, and what they've done is set themselves up for potentially a big rise. We know how good LSU is as a program, but if LSU doesn't reach expectations this year, I think that the pressure is going to already start on this head coach and on this team because there's just so much going into it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So Tigers take on Clemson in the season opener, and then he goes back home to Oxford to take on Ole Miss.
That'll be a fun one.
And actually, we're going to have that
about to
game.
say.
We're going to have that game right here on the Sports Animal.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I didn't even talk about our college schedule. That'll be tomorrow. Then they'll be at home against Texas A&M. That's the way they start their season. They get a break, but then here's how they end their season. Alabama, Texas come to Death Valley, and then they go to Tennessee. They go to Knoxville to finish the season.
That's tough.
So front end, 6 games total. That middle is going to be interesting for LSU.
And one thing that we haven't mentioned in this little discussion, thank goodness, for the first year in seems like decades, the SEC will not be playing their first week of November Citadel Cupcake Week.
Morehead State, Sisters
FCS,
of the Blind and Poor.
FCS schedule. Since they've gone to 9 conference games, they've had to move all of those cupcakes to the beginning of the year. And I think
just like Oregon and everybody else.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Just jump on the boat with us.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be interesting to see how that works, right? With 9 conference games. Now, as I've always said, the SEC is a good league, tremendous at the top, but I've never thought that it was as deep as other leagues, especially at the bottom. The Mississippi States and the former Kentucky of the world, and South Carolina when they weren't competitive. A lot of teams that had 3 to 4 wins, and you had a lot of teams playing that really weak non-conference schedule, getting in with a 6-6 record into a bowl, and then the SEC touting that, and that helps them in the preseason polls because they had 10 bowl teams. Right?
Call the Oregon Mac Links hotline at 541-844-3484. Toll free 877-844-3484. We're live in the Bigfoot Beverages studio, the last hour of our Wednesday program. Who do you got tomorrow, Justin? Do we have anybody lined up?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
And we're going to get Matt Dompey in here, and I think we're going to get Isaac Streeter in here in person as well.
Oh, look at this.
Another couple of in-person guests.
We get to show off the brand spanking new studios. Proud of these studios. So
and then
yes,
on
absolutely,
Friday,
yes.
if you want me to announce
Sure,
Friday.
Go ahead.
I think we're going to have Thurston head coach Justin Stark on the program.
Fantastic. Talk a little more local high school football. The Colts.
Steve will love that.
Yes. Oh, yes.
I'm assuming they know each other.
Oh, yeah.
goodness
Are you
gracious.
kidding me?
Because
Yes.
these know everybody.
Goodness, yes. And of course, we'll have big bets on Friday as well.
Are we going to go
So,
over big bets this hour?
yes, Justin, at
He's
the
so
bottom of the
excited.
hour. I told you, if he went 1-4, he would not be as excited about talking about big bets. Somebody did go 1-4 in big bets.
It was somebody we just talked about.
Yeah. He knew. He thought he went 0-5.
What are you betting on? I mean, what is you usually did football? Do you do baseball?
Yeah, we're doing baseball right now. And who picked the games last week?
It was Goose, and
he threw a
week.
WNBA game in there as well.
Well, he tries to trap
nuts.
us.
Yeah,
He constantly picks the Cubs and then picks against the Cubs,
and
knowing
it
we
hasn't
will pick the Cubs.
it hasn't worked for him the last
has
couple
not,
of times
no.
he's done it. So neener. Again, you can follow us on the old social, Sports Animal EUG. Let's take our break. When we come back, our next topic. This is a good one.
I'm fired up.
I think this is a topic that you, the listeners, should jump in on. The Oregon Man Clinic's hotline at 541-844-3484. Toll free 877-844-3484. Should you stay a fan of a team if they leave your city? Let's discuss next on The Drive.
1050 AM, 1029 FM, and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Other stations can say they cover the Ducks and Beavers, but we bring the receipts. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
We live and work right here in Eugene, so we understand what matters most: family, community, and the confidence of having a plan that fits your life. Your Eugene area Edward Jones advisors get to know you, your goals, your family, and what feeling secure means to you. Together, we'll help you make sense of your financial picture so you can move forward with clarity and confidence. Your Eugene area Edward Jones advisors. Let's start the conversation. To locate the Edward Jones financial advisor nearest you, visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
At Sun Automotive, we are changing the image of the automotive industry. Our country depends upon cars and trucks, and our automotive technicians are the essential workers that keep families safe and businesses moving. At Sun Automotive, being an automotive technician isn't a plan B. It's a future and an important career that challenges you to grow and gives you the satisfaction of keeping people safe and on the road. For the best service under the sun, come to Sun Automotive.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on.
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Imagine what it's like to be active your whole life and then find out you're going blind. That's what happened to me. I have age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. As a wife, mother, and grandmother, my sight is precious to me. What a relief when I found out that treatments for some forms of AMD are available and that research is underway on additional preventions and treatments. AMD is the leading cause of vision loss in people 55 and over. When I started seeing blurry spots in the middle of my eye, I saw my doctor. She suggested I review the prevention and treatment information on fightblindness.org. Did you know that some forms of AMD can be slowed down or stopped, and in some cases reversed if found in time? Get more information about preserving your vision. Call the Foundation Fighting Blindness today at 1-800-BLINDNESS for a free packet on reversing or managing AMD. Or go to the website where I found so much helpful information. Fightblindness.org, 1-800-BLINDNESS, 1-800-254-6363, or fightblindness.org.
Sometimes they're right.
Rest my case.
Sometimes they're wrong.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
But no ears were harmed in the making of their disagreements.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Final couple of segments here for a Wednesday. Still smoky outside. This is going to hang around for a few days, folks. And just think of all those folks that are going to be in need because the forest fires are raging. We were lucky up to this point. This is part of the rub of living in such a beautiful place with all the trees and the stuff around us is that sometimes Mother Nature needs to do a reset.
Mm-hmm.
So just
and wildfires affect a lot of things for a long time.
Yeah, they do. So the folks I'm thinking about up near Hoodoo, Mount Hood Meadows, things like that. So
Up in Spokane, they're horrible.
yeah, it's devastating. And listen, I think I've related this story before on the air. Is a couple of years ago before we moved back down from the Portland area, we were living in Damascus, and it was that was the Blanton Creek fire, and it was like two fires that like kind of combined, and it was coming for us. And I literally, from my house, I was up on a bluff, and I could see down into the valley, and I could see the orange. That's the scariest thing. It got to about a mile. We had to evacuate. We were in one of those zones. They have these different zones, and it's like you have to evacuate. And so 2 dogs, 2 cats, wife, child, and then you're thinking about what possessions do I take with me in case this thing comes and wipes out our house? Because there was going to be one shot to fill up a truck and take it out. It really puts your life in some kind of perspective. It's like, furniture that can be replaced, but pictures can't be. So, my wife all of a sudden got on this big digitizing kick, which is great. So now a lot of our family photos are like older family photos, scanned, digitized, so they're never going to be lost. But the things like, the table I made with my dad, my dad's gone, so I'm taking that table, man. It wasn't a big table, but I'm taking that table with me because that's something I can't replace.
Absolutely.
So, but human life is the most important thing, and animals. So just think about those folks as well. And when you hear the pleas from folks to donate to help those that have lost or been devastated by wildfires, please reach into the pocket as much as you can and help those people out, because I think if the situation was reversed, you were going to be hoping for other people to help you. So just think about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And hopefully everybody comes away relatively unscathed. All right. Should you stay? I love this topic. Should you stay a fan of a team if they leave? Our Oregon Man Clinics hotline is open for you at 541-844-3484 or toll free 877-844-3484. And obviously, this is top of people's mind because the threat of what's going on up in Portland.
Yep.
One of the few professional teams in the state of Oregon and the only NBA franchise in the state of Oregon, obviously. This one, to me, I'll start out and then I want you guys to hop in, obviously.
Yeah.
To me, it's really circumstantial. It's like, why did they leave? It's that to me is like, do you have an owner that is not connected with a fan base and is like, the perfect example of that is like what happened to Seattle. When that guy just picked up and moved the team to Oklahoma, he bought the team knowing he was going to yank it from Seattle because he wanted to take it to Oklahoma because that's where he made his money and that's where he wanted it to be. So Seattle became Oklahoma City. So that to me is like, well, then as Seattle fans, I would go, yeah, screw the Thunder. So it's circumstantial for me.
No, it is. So there's a couple of franchises that I want to mention. First, as you both know, I'm a Rams fan. And I lived in Los Angeles for a long time. I was a big-time fan. The Rams moved to St. Louis, and I stayed with them. And they were awful. Awful.
You should be commended for that, by the way.
Awful. I mean, 1-15, all those years of Sam Bradford, just terrible.
Yeah.
And then they came back to Los Angeles. My son continues to make fun of me that when they showed their very first preseason game against the Cowboys on ESPN at the Coliseum, I literally was crying because they came back, right? So the owner situation was terrible. Georgia Frontieri was in it just for the money, but Stan Kroenke got it from her. He was a minority owner and then moved it back to Los Angeles, and now they've become one of the strongest franchises in Los Angeles and in the NFL, one of the top 5 most valuable franchises in all of sports. So it's it's an interesting situation. And then the other one is the Raiders, right? So you have the Raiders in Oakland. They moved to Los Angeles because of Al Davis's greed. The Coliseum doesn't do it for him, just like they didn't do it for the Rams. So he goes back to Oakland, and he's still greedy, and he takes them to Las Vegas. But there are still Raider fans in Oakland and in Los Angeles.
Well, his son did that by going to Vegas. It wasn't Al.
But I have a buddy of mine who is a huge Raiders fan, still lives in Los Angeles, was a season ticket holder for the Raiders.
Yeah.
And he continues to be a Raiders fan to this day. There are no Rams fans, 0 Rams fans in St. Louis. There are 0 Cardinals fans in St. Louis at all. They hate the NFL because they've lost 2 teams.
I thought you were saying the St. Louis Cardinals there, person.
No. I knew what you were saying. Arizona Cardinals. All right, let's Jess, I want to hear you chiming on this. Let's head over to the Oregon Man Clings hotline at 541-844-3484 and welcome in our good friend Brad. Brad, what do you think? Is Brad still there?
I think so.
Did you take him?
I did. Actually,
yeah.
Hear me?
There you go. Now we
There
got
we
you,
go.
buddy. Yeah, got to push a button here. Electronics are a wonderful thing. Go ahead.
They are, yeah. It's all good. I just the fact that the Blazers are part of this conversation really bums me out, and it just that absolutely sucks.
But would you root for the Blazers if they pick up and leave?
It really depends on the situation. Probably not. I will tell you, as a kid, I mean, I grew up in the D.C. suburbs. I was more of a Redskins fan, but I rooted for the Colts in the AFC. And then Irsay up and moved them, crack of dawn, those Mayflower moving vans. That was the first one I remember. First time I remember a team being, quote unquote, stolen from a city. And I mean, the Indianapolis Colts still make me puke in my mouth a little bit. And I wasn't even that. I mean, the Colts were my second team. So it's like, I don't know.
Art Modell did the same thing with the Browns when he moved them to Baltimore in the dark of night. He did basically the same thing. And listen, the Cleveland community never, ever, ever forgave Art Modell.
But there's a big difference there. And Brad, agree with me or not here, the NFL required Cleveland to keep the branding of the Browns and everything for when they got an expansion team, it could still be the Browns. Same thing with the Supersonics. When a team goes to Seattle, the NBA has said they're the Supersonics, the logos, everything, the records. Oklahoma City has to take all that stuff.
But that's just giving that owner an out. It's like, okay, we're going to keep all that stuff for your city, but he still screwed the city.
Yeah.
He screwed the city.
But you're still getting your team back, quote unquote, right?
Yeah.
The Supersonics.
Yeah.
And the Browns,
love it.
part 2. So,
all right, Brad. You have another thought on it? Yeah, that's it. All right.
Well, just that. I mean, I still don't like the Thunder because they were the Sonics. Like that bugs me too. So I agree, it's totally situational though, and it just sucks that it comes down to the situations we're dealing with in terms of billionaires holding up municipalities for all they're doing.
Right, of course, it's not the Portland Trailblazers, it's just the Tom Dundon Trailblazers, unfortunately. I guess the question then would be, Brad, what situation would you still root for the team then?
Yeah.
That's really hard, and I mean, I don't know. I just don't. I don't know what I would do in terms of an NBA fan. The NBA is my oldest, longest
relationship
passion. I'm like, that would be the one that I mean, NFL was close behind, but like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. And it was completely easy for me to change the moment I moved across the country from being a former Washington Bullets. I mean, I kind of gave up on the Bullets when they became the Wizards. That was an easy switch because the Trailblazers were good and I'd always kind of liked them, but I don't know what'll happen and hopefully we never get there.
Well, hopefully we don't. But I think that for me, Brad, and I know you and I share this with the situational thing, I think it would be if somehow the city, county, state government, where an owner was like, listen, I need help. You got to get this thing fixed for me because I got a dilapidated building or, my taxes are way too high. I can't go get players or whatever. And he's not pleading poor, but he's pleading, I got to be able to compete, and this is how I can compete.
Yeah.
And they just say, forget it. We're not doing anything to help you. It's your problem, not our problem. I think that would be a situation.
That's not what's happening in
Oh, no,
Portland.
no, no.
I think they're willing to work it out.
I know that. I'm just saying, if I'm asked this question about how I would stay a fan of a team, that would be one of those situations where I'd probably stay a fan of the team, because if I feel they're getting hosed somehow, then I would still stay a fan. Like, listen,
Well, what if it was a close location to, like, somewhere like, I mean, I'm not saying directly like San Diego Chargers and the Los Angeles Chargers, but something like that, where it's just kind of close.
No, listen, I'm going to give you a perfect example. And you may not be an Oakland A's fan, but they got totally hosed by the city. They did.
Oh, absolutely.
They got totally taken out to the cleaners by the city. And so I have no problem saying, you know what? Yes, if somebody's going to be willing to build you a beautiful new stadium in a city that brings a ton of tourism into it anyway, and I'm going to help increase attendance, why not go there? Because you just got blown away by this. They drug their feet and tied it up with red tape to try and get a stadium deal done. That Oakland, the Oakland A's site is probably one of the worst baseball stadiums and has never been really improved. Not since Charlie Finley. That's it. So that's the situation. So there you go. Brad, thanks for the phone call, buddy.
Yep. Take care.
All right, there he goes.
So, and I think we talked a little bit about this. There's a possible ballot measure, right, that's going to go out to the entire state of Oregon. And Justin, let me know what you think here. As a resident of Eugene, or if you're a resident of Grants Pass or Bend or Klamath Falls,
yeah, I'm out.
Do you think it's right for you to vote to build the Blazers a new arena, or give the Blazers money to build and improve their arena, so as a resident of not Portland? You're not in Portland.
You're saying the money is coming from other places.
Yes, the ballot measure would bring money from the whole state. So you would, as a resident of Eugene, you would pay taxes to the state that would go for Moda Center improvements.
Okay, so hold on a second. Let's back up, though. So let's make sure we're clearly defining this, though.
Yes.
The Blazers organization, Tom.
I'm not ready for that. I'm not.
I was going to get him. Dundon and his group do not own the Moda Center.
Correct.
So let's make this clear. The city of Portland owns the Moda Center. So we would be giving, if on your the ballot, we would be giving the city of Portland the money to improve the Moda Center, not Tom Dundon's group. I went way too fast there. I didn't pause. But thank you for being on top of it. So okay, now Baby J, floor's yours. You
What do I
forgot the
think in
question.
terms of
you would pay taxes?
Would I pay money for it? This
Would
is
you
a political
feel? Would you
question.
feel
I
good?
feel like this is a trap.
No, it's not a trap.
No, it's not. But I think it's a great point, because it's like, as a fan, would you say, you know what, I am willing to, if this is the thing that's
If I'm
going
a
to
fan,
keep the
yes.
Blazer. No, but if this is a thing
If I'm a
that's
fan, I'm doing it probably. But if I'm someone that's not a fan, I wouldn't want to do that probably.
I mean,
but I would want to know if I do this, then they're staying.
Right. There are far more obvious non-NBA fans and Blazer fans in the state of Oregon.
Totally.
Right. But how many times have you been to the Moda Center to see a concert, or to go to? In fact, I told this to Danny.
Yeah.
I've been to the Moda Center exactly 2 times in the last 10 years. I went to see Paul Simon.
Yep.
And I went to see an ice skating event because my wife likes ice skating. Right.
Okay.
Never to a Blazer game. But if the Moda Center isn't there, Paul Simon is not coming to
It's
Oregon.
True. Nope.
Right?
It's true. But then we need to expand that conversation out to, then where does it stop? Are we giving the University of Oregon more money for expanding Autzen Stadium?
We already do.
Well, that was right, through
We give
seat
what is it,
licenses, through
$4.
donation.
There's a $4 ticket surcharge. I believe it used to be $4.
Okay.
Every time you buy a ticket to any sporting event.
But do you hear people squawking about that?
They don't know about it. They don't realize it.
It's okay. So to me, again, I love your scenario, but
Yeah.
for me, it's like, if that's the decision a fan would have to make.
Right.
Would be, if it assures that the Blazers stay in Portland, and that's my main motivation, then I don't know if I'd have that much of a problem with it.
Right.
Because again, it's not like I'm giving that building to a private person. It is a publicly owned building.
And just like you said, it depends on the situation, or Brad said it depends on the situation. For me, it depends how long am I paying in my property taxes or my income taxes?
Sure.
Or in that ballot measure, what's the language of that? How long do I have to pay this money to Multnomah County and the city of Portland to keep these improvements coming.
So I guess the answer to the question is that it's all based on what the situation is. If you're going to stay a fan.
But in my situation, come on, it's your team, right?
Yeah. No, if the Packers left Green Bay, I think I would have a hard time rooting for the Charlotte Packers or the Miami Packers I would have a hard time with it.
I'm with you. I don't think I would be able to do it.
I don't think I could. So, all right, when we come back, finally, Justin gets to gloat for an entire segment, rightfully so.
I don't even care that much.
Yes, you do. Stop it.
I can't say anything.
Stop it. It's fine. You earned it. So let's, pay your dues,
I don't even think I won.
You didn't win anything. You won pride for this week. And $100 to South Coast Special Olympics on behalf of Coquel Casino Resort. We'll talk about that next. Yeah, there we go. The Big Bets results next here on The Drive.
Nothing is too big for the sports animal to handle. That's what she said. You're home for me, Dan Patrick, 6 to 9 a.m. weekdays, and The Drive with Danny, Steve, and Justin from 3 to 6. This is the sports animal.
The plans you have for your property need the right equipment. Kubota has reliable tractors, utility vehicles, and mowers to help you make the most of your land, along with strong dealer support. Stop by today to explore our lineup. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0% financing or save up to $3,500, plus a first-year K-maintenance service on us. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer.
Mid-Valley Tractor in Eugene. 40 years, family-owned. Find them at midvalleytractor.com.
Looking for a new dentist who puts you first? Oakmont Family Dental is Eugene Springfield's top-rated dental office, where your comfort and care are their priority. With flexible hours from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., scheduling is easy. Relax with their comfort menu, warm neck wraps, essential oils, lip balm, and more. Plus, all new patients get free teeth whitening. Call or visit oakmontfamilydental.com today. Oakmont Family Dental, where you come first.
Fresh flowers, bouquets, plants, and custom arrangements for all occasions at Eugene's Flower Home. You'll discover that and so much more. Stop by Eugene's Flower Home to find just what you're looking for. You can shop in-store or online with local and nationwide delivery. Whether it's birthdays, anniversaries, or other special occasions, it's available at Eugene's Flower Home, 1193 Harlow Road, Springfield, across from the south entrance to the shops at Gateway, 541-485-3655, eugenesflowerhome.com.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107. Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission license number DC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
Is that a faucet running? That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink. What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum. That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest, cleaning up the air we breathe. I didn't know the trees were so amazing. Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb. That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
1050 AM and 1029 FM and the sportsanimaleugene.com. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
So we had Cooper Mullins on the program yesterday. Final Drifters game is tonight out at Hamlin. We'll talk about that in the last segment. So Wood Bat League is great baseball. I know, Brian, you're a huge baseball guy. You lived, ate, breathed it for most of your adult life.
Yes.
And we still can. And Matt Toppy in here tomorrow from the M's.
Outstanding. Looking forward to that.
Absolutely. Goose will be back in studio with us. It's Danny, it's Justin, it's Brian Beban. That's the other voice you hear on the microphone. And you got to wave hello to the kids on YouTube. There you go. Justin, wave hello to the kids on YouTube. There we go. YouTube and Twitter. We're out there as well. Thanks for the folks
we've got
that
a
are
record number of watchers, by the way.
just shy of it.
Just shy?
Oh,
What's the
yeah,
record?
dude.
We shouldn't say it out loud, should we?
No, but it's just shy of it. But I that's why I'm not going to say it out loud because
I think it was a
You
couple
don't want to
higher.
jinx it.
I think it was a couple higher earlier.
No, yeah, it's all right. But thanks for everybody who's online. We appreciate that. Yeah, we try and we're a multimedia platform. It's just not terrestrial radio. We're on the stream. We're on the old video and the YouTube. Laura's got it out in the studios, out in front, the offices here.
But we are on terrestrial radio, which you had to remind Neil Everett of the other day.
Yes, because he was trying to get me fined by the FCC. That was it. And I will never let him live it down. Oh, yeah, he said a bad word. And it went over the air. And producer was not on
We
the
weren't
dump.
ready for it.
The dump button was not in effect. We did not have the delay.
You have 7 seconds,
No,
Justin.
actually, I don't think we do. I think we're flying
Yeah,
without a net right now.
Hey, don't look at me, Brian.
That's going to get fixed immediately.
Yes.
All right, so we do a little thing here on the program. We've been doing it now for, Justin on the other program, Danny and Justin, we were doing it for like last 18 months of the show. So we do a thing on Fridays called Big Bets Coquel Casino and Resort. I'm actually having dinner with Michael from Coquel tonight here in town. He's in town for a day. So we're going to get together. It's awesome. Coquel Casino and Resort, a huge supporter of our station and continues to be at Sports Animal and out on the coast at KNCU. I'm really getting this chair fixed tonight. So we do big bets. So we pick 5 games, and then you, the listeners, get to pick against us. And if the listener wins, they get a 2-night stay at Coquel Casino, $100 on their player's card. They got to be 21 or over. Can't use the $100 for sports betting, but use it for anything else. We put them up with a nice room. It's 2 nights on the coast, and especially in the spring, summertime. It's awesome. And this weekend, they're having this big tribute band and food cart deal where they're going to have a bunch of food carts in the parking lot, tribute bands all day long, all night. It's $5 for the tribute bands. That's it. And then they got all the food carts out there. It's awesome. And it's going to go all weekend, 7th through the 9th, down in Coos Bay. So we do our big bets. If we win, the hosts win. So you got to start getting in on this every week, okay? If we win, the hosts win. We, on behalf of Coquel Casino Resort and the Sports Animal, $100 to South Coast Special Olympics.
So $100 regardless.
$100 regardless to South Coast Special
Yes.
Olympics. All right. So
Happy to do it this week.
yeah, Baby J went 4-1.
Ooh.
Won the week. You were only 9 points off the total points in the tiebreaker. 186 is what the tiebreaker points total was, and you picked 195. So I went 3-2. So overall, Baby J, you inched out to the 1-game lead over me.
The benefit of being a producer, I can decide when this is happening.
So you're 7-3. We just started this 7-3 on the season. I'm 6-4. Goose is 2-8.
Ooh.
He had he was okay. It's like the starting gate at the Kentucky Derby. He's the mutter in the back, and the race isn't over. But we haven't even approached the quarter pole yet.
Well, hopefully we don't have to put him down on the track.
Oh wow! By the way, the Pope, Ken Woody, he also went 4-1.
Good for him.
And he doesn't do this very often.
No.
So we had him in
But
the
he's done
studio.
with it,
So
though.
it's the only game he missed was the same game I missed, which was the Kansas City Colorado.
So what are the
game.
games? What were
So
the games?
So
this
the
week?
games were Kansas City, Colorado baseball, San Francisco, San Diego, Seattle, Minnesota, the Cubs and the Yankees, the Mercury against the Liberty in WNBA, and that was our tiebreaker game. So
And then the baseball games were that Friday?
they were Saturday games.
All
Saturday games.
Okay.
So, yeah, we've run into that before where I actually picked a game that was going on when we were trying to do big bets. So
Yeah.
I did. Well, everybody can look it up.
The game didn't exist.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, there was a game that you picked that the teams didn't play each other, and so we had to. It was like a state or something like that instead of just. It was Michigan and Michigan State. It was something like that where the game wasn't actually a real game.
Okay, I don't understand that. I think I just missed. I didn't look at when the start time was. No, it was a game. It's just I didn't know when the start time was.
That's
That
not
was
how
what-
I remember it.
Okay, well, you remember things differently. but of course I can't. Sometimes I don't remember things correctly. All right, so tomorrow on the program, Matt Dumpy is going to be in studio. That's going to be fun. By the way, baseball-wise, Aaron Judge says he is almost on the way back. He said he'll be back for the Yankees before the end of the season. He's been approved for limited workouts now, coming back from that injury. By the way, Brian, how are you? Are you okay?
Why wouldn't I be?
That the Dodgers just got swept by the Cubs. Are you okay?
2 back-to-back sweeps in a row. We got swept by the Red Sox over the weekend.
That's why I'm asking. I care about you, and
well, thank
you.
you. And I've mentioned how bad the Dodgers are playing, and
you share an office with Super Cub fan
yeah,
here.
Super Cub fan was gloating.
Super Dodgers hater.
But he said he goes just pipe down over there. He goes, you still got a 8-game lead, and I said,
Listen,
I'll take it. It doesn't,
Shohei banged a couple of home runs today.
Yes, he did.
It was a great game today.
And PCA had 2 home runs, a double as well. And he was the designated hitter. He didn't even see the field today. They were giving him a day off from the field.
Yeah, it surprised me because I didn't see that when he hit the home run. I just assumed.
Yeah, because I told you it was PCA, and you said no, PCA is not in the game, and I was just like,
I didn't see the lineup. I just saw the other center fielder made a catch.
I just saw him. They just pointed to him in the dugout, and I was just like, well, I think he just hit the home run. So as much as I was paying attention to,
we were
it
both
on the
half
monitors,
paying attention.
Yeah, we were because we were working. All right, so let's take our last break before the top of the hour. And let's talk Springfield Drifters and what the Wood Bat League means to the state of Oregon, and especially us here. Beautiful complex they've got out there at Hamlin. We want them to get filled up tonight for their last game of the season. They can, I believe, set a record for wins.
They've passed it.
Oh, they have? Okay.
They swept. We'll talk about it on the other side.
Let's do it on the other side.
Well,
Let's talk about the Drifters and celebrate them in the last game of the season in the smoke at Hamlin as we close out the drive here for a Wednesday.
Don't change the channel. Your radio might explode. Okay, not really, but you miss a minute of the drive, you might miss something, well, spectacular.
On we go.
The Drive is back on 102.9 FM and 1050 AM. The Sports Animal.
Yeah. Can you pass me a Baja?
A what?
Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Try it. It's tropical at first. Then the lime flavor hits.
Oh, okay. It's crisp. Tastes like vacation.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And it's mine now.
Have a Baja Blast.
Enjoy cool savings on Mountain Dew fountain drinks all summer long. Any size for just $1.50 at participating convenience stores.
Hi, this is Drew from Dalton Carpet on West 11th in Eugene. Dalton Carpet is family owned and operated and proud to serve you for 30 years. Now more than ever, someone you know is walking on a Dalton floor. Do you have a flooring project? Get your summer off to a new start. Lane County's best selection with hundreds of rolls of carpet and thousands of feet of click-together flooring on display and in stock right now at unbeatable prices. Come see us today at Dalton Carpet, right here on West 11th in Eugene.
While serving in Afghanistan, I was shot in the head by sniper fire. The fighting was so intense, the medevac chopper was barely able to land. I was given a 5% chance to live. I'm Adam Alexander, and I'm a veteran. Today, I visit classrooms and talk with kids about dealing with life's struggles. I tell them, with a little help and a lot of work, that you can overcome any challenge.
DAV helps veterans like Adam get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year in life-changing ways.
I know that some struggles are big and some are small, but they're all struggles, and you have to learn to get through them. With support from DAV, more veterans like me can live their best life. And as a new father, I have one more reason to keep on keeping on. My victory is being there for the next generation.
Adam Alexander, may your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Hey guys, Jason McCourty here. As a 13-year NFL veteran and Super Bowl champion, people always ask me, what's it like getting ready for the big game? Let me tell you, it's all about preparation, knowing what you're up against, especially when food allergy is part of the game plan. When you're on the field, you're playing for your fans. At home, you're playing for your family. My playbook, read labels, keep it allergy friendly, and have an epinephrine nasal spray as a backup plan. Visit foodallergy.org to learn more.
1050 AM, 1029 FM, and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Other stations can say they cover the Ducks and Beavers, but we bring the receipts. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
All right, last segment of the program here for a Wednesday. Thanks for hanging out on The Drive. Sports Animal Eugene out on the coast, KNCU, Fox Sports Newport. New affiliates coming on next week. We'll talk about that on Monday as we sign a couple more stations on in the state who are jumping on the bandwagon for The Drive. Your phone calls still in this last segment, they're available. Lines are open. Oregon Man Clinics hotline at 541-844-3484, toll free 877-844-3484. The website, I love the website. This has been a passion project of mine to make sure we have a good functional not what I call in the business, a static website. So when you come back to our website every single day, there's something different there because we have feeds for Oregon, Oregon State, MLB. We have all the podcasts for all the shows. Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, two pros and a cup of Joe. I got to get them right. Cavino and Rich.
2 Joes and a cup of pro.
That's probably, I'm going to have that in my head. Now I'm going to say that wrong. Thanks, Justin. You know, there's only a few things that I can keep in my head at one time, and that's one of them. Thank goodness. So all of it's on there as well. Interact with us if you want to advertise with us, please. We're just a small local business trying to swim upstream against the big boys. I appreciate everything that people have done to help support this little dream that I didn't realize I had. Listen, man, I was in radio for 40. You're smiling. I never thought I'd be an owner. But when I'm laying in bed with my wife and thinking about, how I could do something for the last, 10 years that I want to work, I just thought, I've made a lot of money for a lot of other people. How about I make a little for myself and help some other people out in the community? And so that's why this came about. But you got to do it the right way, man. If you don't do it the right way, it's not worth it.
Well, I remember talking to you a couple of years ago now, where you never thought something like this would happen. And so it's cool to be a part of this and to be able to help you create your own vision. And here we are, and you can see this beautiful studio around us if you're looking at the YouTube and anywhere else you're finding us, like Twitter or Twitch. So yeah, it's just been a bit of a whirlwind. I think we're all getting our feet underneath us a little bit, but
finally,
I think today was a great show. I think we've had great shows to start off.
Oh,
and yeah, we're having a good time.
So and I told Justin, Brian, I said 3 hours, dude, is going to fly. We were doing the fastest 60 minutes, and that flew by.
I can't even imagine.
I said, and I think Justin, you were a little worried. How are we going to fill 3 hours? Come on now, we've done it now for a few weeks. Have you really thought about that? We're like, oh my gosh, we still have more stuff we can cram into 3 hours, right?
That's true. I just don't want to fill 3 hours by myself. I don't think anybody else wants to hear that either.
By the way, everybody, tomorrow is Justin solo on the program. He's going to
3
fill 3
hours,
hours.
just
Justin
whatever I
Grosswetter. All right, so final Drifters game tonight.
Yes.
And Brian, I know, again, baseball very near and dear to your heart. As a long time owner operator with the M's here in town, and the Drifters. I loved what they did building Hamlin. What a beautiful facility for baseball. Bushnell uses it as well.
Yes.
And I know that it was a heart project for Kelly Richardson, and I know he has a partner as well. Ike Olson, yeah. Ike's done a great job with the youth baseball folks in this area.
Well, that really was their whole basis for the Drifters in the first place, was to give more local kids a chance to get an opportunity to be seen by scouts and Major League Baseball to get drafted.
Yeah.
And they care way more. I mean, this is probably putting words into their mouth, but they care about the kids way more than, at least this is the way it was, than the business side, right? If people didn't come to the games, they were like, we're giving these kids an opportunity.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
That's nice. That's an added benefit.
It's an added benefit. But when you go to a game, you have a good time.
Yeah, no,
right?
we were out there. Summit Bank hosted us for an event a few weeks ago. It was
I
great.
mean, it's not like there's 3,000 or 4,000 people there. They have less than 500 people at a game, but it's intimate. It's a small facility. It seats only about 1,500, but it's a beautiful turf field, great facility. Next year, they start in April. They go through the beginning of August. The Bend Elks, the Corvallis Knights, the Portland Pickles, Walla Walla Sweets, Yakima Pippins. I mean, they're all in that league, right? And they just do a great job. Ike and Kelly have done just a tremendous job out there. And they have not had a lot of success on the field, but these last couple of weeks, they have been playing great. They've won 8 of their last 10 series. Tonight against the Bend Elks, they are going for their second sweep of the entire season. You talked to Cooper Mullins. You guys did on Monday. He's having a great year. They call him really the face of their franchise.
He had a bobblehead. You ever have a bobblehead made of you?
No.
Maybe we should all have bobbleheads made of us.
I think it's
I
a
can put
realistic
'em out here.
possibility.
All right, so no,
So
digress.
he's been on that team for 3 years.
Yep.
So if you don't know how summer wood bat baseball works, it's for all players that are not major league draft eligible.
Right.
So basically it's for freshmen and sophomores in college. So if you've heard of the Cape Cod League,
right,
or the Alaska Gold Panner League up there with their Midnight Sun baseball game, it's the same kind of thing.
And it's a wood bat league, so it's
wood
a
bat.
pro, it's
so
a pro
it's
type league.
Pro league because they're trying to prep these kids to play professional baseball. So
Right.
they're not using aluminum, and these are kids that are from Portland, community colleges in the
Eugene.
Northwest,
Eugene,
Lane
obviously.
Community College.
Yeah.
So they've got a lot of local, regional kids that are playing for the Drifters and for all the teams in all the other leagues.
Right,
You're not
we
going
just
to
talked
see,
about,
you're not going to see a lot of kids from the East Coast coming to this league. They'll stay out on their part of the country. So the Drifters are playing great right now. They were in a playoff chase right until the end, but they missed the playoffs because they had a rough start to the season because it's a pretty short season. The M's play over 100 games now that they're long season.
Right.
The Drifters are in the 50 range, right? So they don't have a lot of time once they have a rough start to catch up. So they had a great year, and it would be great to see how this organization grows in the off season going into next April.
Go celebrate it with them tonight. You know, if you can not put yourself in harm's way in terms of this. Okay, let's just be honest. It's smoky out there right now.
Yeah.
So if you have any kind of, asthma or lung issues and stuff, don't put yourself out there and put yourself at risk.
So
okay?
here's what you do. You go into your junk drawer at home or
Okay.
in your laundry room.
And you find a mask.
100% guaranteed there is a leftover COVID mask in there. Grab that mask.
Okay.
Go to the game.
That's fair.
They've got, it's fan appreciation night. They've got half price food, half price tickets. I know those two things for sure. So, it's set up to have a great family night out.
Okay.
Can we say we have like 30 seconds for this? Debate on Brian's nickname?
So you can't pick your own nickname.
No, it's against the rules.
So, Justin, I think for the first time, I'm going to have you put your head together with me, and we're going to come up with a nickname for Brian.
All right, I love that.
I don't normally allow Justin in my space when it comes to nicknames.
Get like some picks. He'll give me like an option, maybe.
But sometimes I don't. Most of the times I
time
don't.
you don't.
I don't. It's organic for me. So I'm actually thinking of one right now.
Goodness me.
Listen, I think
It'll be good, I hope.
Okay. Here's the thing, and I'll just say I'm patting myself on the back. And
Good.
Justin, you to back me up on this.
Yeah.
I haven't had a lot of pushback from anybody on nicknames.
No,
I
you have not.
Good. People liked our nickname.
right.
Here's our dad joke. What do you call it when one bull spies on another bull? What do you call it when one bull spies on another bull?
I don't know.
You call it a stake out.
I'm glad Brian liked that one. Let's
That's
go.
good.
Brian, we need to have you into the program more. Put a smile on your face. Someone else's. They deserve it. So do you. God bless you all. Peace.
$10:50 a.m. and 102.9 FM and the SportsAnimalEugene.com. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Summer. The sun. The sand. How could things be any